What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
That's good, dude.
Man, vibing out. Another day, another dollar, another glorious day. Now that I think about it, man,
Very nice.
Yeah, bro. And I'm getting sit next to my dog with the stash on. You already got that Melvin heat on too. Shout out, like, gosh, Deke got the exclusive, man. Who was your connect?
Yeah, quick order. Shipped it overnight. I had to pay an arm and a leg, but it came through, and I actually had the custom Reebok logo.
I saw that. That's pretty awesome right there, man.
I was like, what? I don't want the Nike. Yeah, I don't want the Nike logo. Give me the Reebok logo. I want a vintage type of jersey, but with the Melvin Ingram 8 on it. So it worked out.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot right there, man. That is clean. That is clean. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is show time. Still in Nation 412. What's up, baby? Who's in the chat? We checking in, man. Check in. Let us know where you are tuning in from. We are giving shout outs to start the show off, man, because that's what we do on Fridays. You know that, man. It's the Friday shout out, man. So let us know where you're tuning in from. I see my man Brian is taking a trip to Mars right now. That's what I'm talking about, my brother. Enjoy.
Safe travels.
Yeah, safe travels. Hey, man, Jeff Bezos, he went to orbit, so if he could do it, then we could do it, man. So
I've seen a lot more about that
bro.
On the internet. Is he okay? Like, what's going on with that?
I mean, from what I've heard, he was fine. I forgot. It was a famous person that had the opportunity to go, and they actually declined. They were saying that they didn't like the odds because they were showing just how many missions that went up to orbit, and it was like a close pass fail rate, and it was just like, it's not good enough for me. Yeah,
they don't talk about this.
No, not at all. Yeah, that's the only thing about the positive. It was like the pass fail rate. They said it was just too close for their comfort, man. But
they're saying I need a mic check here.
Let me see. Talk to him real quick.
What's up with the mic? What are they saying? Not on. Mic's not on.
Oh, all right. Give me a second. That's on me.
Is it?
That's on me.
Okay.
Here we go. Now we're good. That's on me. My bad. Bloopers.
Am I on?
Yeah, you good now. Heck yeah, you good.
Okay.
So, but it was weird because they definitely heard when I said give the shout out to where you're at. Yeah, they definitely said, tell them where you're at. So I don't know why that was you.
I have no clue. Am I good? They're saying much better now.
All right. So yeah, you're good then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it was though, bro? So when you're not, and this full transparency behind the scenes, and I'm gonna get these shout outs going, baby. So definitely let us know where you're tuning in from.
Yeah, people are tuning in from everywhere.
And I'm gonna have to do a re-intro like we did before, right? Should I hit the re-intro real quick? We re-intro real quick?
It's up to you.
I mean, we could do it. All right. What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, I see you living your best life. Mustache on 1,000. Got the Melvin Ingram already. Overnight, next day shipping. Like,
cost me $100 in shipping.
Dude,
but I knew people would want to see it for today's podcast.
Yeah.
And I even got the custom Reebok logo on it.
I like how you kept the Reebok for nostalgia, because I think he might have missed the Reebok era, but he was around that time frame, about out in San Diego, so he would appreciate that.
Yeah, I was like, screw the Nike logo. Give me the vintage style look on the jersey, but give me the Melvin Ingram 8, the Melvin Ingram on the nameplate. And yeah, I'm pretty amped up about it.
It looks good.
Thanks, man.
It looks real good, man. So what I was saying was this, man. Now that we've got the mics secure and everything is good, let us know where you're checking in from. Let us know where you're watching from, man. It's the Friday show, and that's how we start off on Fridays, baby. We like to do our morning check-in. Well, actually, it's not morning right now. It's like our midday, but I know we got some West Coast out there, so could be morning over there. But getting back to these trips. So Brian, as we said, he said he's taking a trip to Mars right now. We say, shout out to you for that, baby. We definitely hope you have safe travels. And we kind of got a little Jeff Bezos comment going, but we'll get back to that later on. All right, let's see, who else do we have, man?
Someone's tuning in from VA.
VA?
The Schmuck 20.
Shout out. I know we got Destin versus the World in New York. And then you got Economics, Cedar Point, baby. I respect it. And Jeremiah McCoy in the 336. What you got over there, man?
336, where's that at?
I'm not sure. Hey, Jeremiah, where's the 336 at? I usually pull it up on my phone, but we're trying to act professional in the least bit. No, we're not. I'm going to pull it up right now. We're going to find the 336, man. This is how you supposed to do it, bro.
We got Dallas from Derek Gauze, Toxic One North, Connecticut.
Okay. Toxic. All right.
Oh, man.
Let's see. The 336 area code. Oh, North Carolina. Okay. North Carolina in the building, and shout out. I know we got the Vantican says, shout out from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Every time I think of Albuquerque, I always think of Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes skit. Say, Doc, we should have made a left at Albuquerque. That's all he says, bro. Sticks in my head. So shout out to Albuquerque.
South Florida Steel, obviously South Florida in the house.
Absolutely, gotta love South Florida, but Steeler Nation 412, obviously Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You already know, and you know we love that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Donald Copeland, Greensboro,
and then we got Khalid in Dallas working right now, man. I like. Okay. Shout out to the good people, man. That's what I'm talking about right here.
Ray
baby.
Etheridge from your town.
Oh,
757.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gotta have that crib. Home team, baby. Yes. Oh, and then Mark Mina says they're on the road. They're on a road trip to Oklahoma. Awesome show, by the way, is what they said. Shout out to you for that and safe travels.
Nice.
Yes.
Almost like a little radio show then.
We got a little, because that's the podcast element, right? Say, shout out to what you got going on. What we got going on, and how this is it's organic. This is beautiful. I love us.
We got Mexico, Osvaldo Valadez.
Okay, and I see you on the pronunciation too. Are you Latino? You used to have a little Latin chica, Latina. We're gonna find out eventually, Deke, what your type is. We're gonna find out.
You guys are gonna keep.
We're gonna find out.
You're definitely gonna keep asking me these questions.
You know, I do see you like chips and guac, huh? Okay, I saw you salsa one time. Your hips look nice. You was, you know what I mean?
Hey. We got Q from the 610.
From the
Iowa.
What?
Midwest 515.
Shout out.
Someone from Boston.
Oh, and we got Sacktown in the building, man. Shout out to Jesse on that. He says Sacramento in the building. And he says he'll be in the Berg for the August 21st preseason game. That's the third one against, is that Detroit, I want to say?
Hold on. You lost me there for a second. Detroit game?
The third preseason game, whichever one is the home game for us.
Okay. What about it?
Oh, the guy said he's going to be here, Jesse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, coming from Sacramento to the game, man.
Oh, you were asking what game it is.
Yeah, I was like, which
Detroit.
game is the 21st? Yeah.
Sure, I think it is.
Just roll with it, right? Yeah, it's got to be one of them games, man.
I'll check real quick. I mean, it should be the first thing that pops up.
Man, you know what? Fun fact, they just, Michael McCracken, you know, that's my Irish brother right there. He says the exact Gentry is also from Albuquerque. I did not know that.
Panthers.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Friday, August 27th.
No, 21st.
Oh, yeah, that's, so, okay, our third preseason game. I'm on preseason week 3. I'm sorry. Hall of Fame week's its own week.
Yes.
We always play the Panthers every preseason. Yeah, I swear to God.
We end with them as well, though.
Yeah, they're the last game. Yeah, it is the Lions.
Lions, okay.
But no, I swear to God, we play the Panthers every preseason.
Every preseason, bro.
I don't know how
we
or
alternate.
Why.
Yeah, it's weird. But you know, when I was in Buffalo for a while, we would always play Detroit to end the preseason. It was either going to be Detroit and Buffalo. We were going to Detroit. Always ending it like that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's just certain teams have that. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting, though.
There is a Steeler connection with the Panthers.
Oh, it is.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely it is,
with
man.
their owner.
Mm-hmm.
What was he doing with the Steelers?
Hey, I don't know, but he had some, because that was the reason why they thought.
Pittsburgh?
But that was the reason why they thought Kevin Colbert would leave potentially a couple years ago to go down there. So I don't remember the connection, but it's definitely a legitimate connection from an executive level too.
That seems like it wouldn't happen though. Where NFL teams, if you have connections, you could kind of almost schedule your own preseason.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
That feels like
right?
it'd be stepping over the NFL line.
Yeah,
right? Like the NFL wants complete control over that. There's no way.
They might put it in the suggestion box. Like, could you please have us in with that team?
Yeah, that's maybe what it is.
We'll alternate home and away. We'll do it like that. But yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Shout out to Frank K, our resident Suns fan. Tuscan AZ in the house. I respect it. Yes, indeed. They're going back to your type, Deke. They said you like the BBWs, baby.
Dude. Listen, I had an Urban Dictionary that the other day. I was going through.
I had the Urban Dictionary.
I did, man. Because I was trying to review some of like the best of Vince Williams' tweets in honor of his retirement. He's got some good ones, man.
He does.
He's got some really good ones, and that was one of them. I think I need to pull it up because if I'm gonna try to say it, I'm gonna not do it justice. Hold on 1 second. Let me try to pull this up. But it was hilarious. Okay, here it is. You ready?
Yeah, let me hear it.
Do you remember this?
I remember a lot. He got a lot of them.
All right, ready?
He got a lot of them.
I really watch draft day to see the moms. I keep telling people BBWs are the way. Dudes be athletic as all get out, and they moms built like 3-tech.
Nice.
That's what he said. He said that April 25th, 2019.
And a 3 tech is like a defensive lineman. That's what he's
That's
saying.
what I was assuming. It was either offensive or defensive lineman.
Yeah, they're built like a defensive lineman. That was who he was referring to. Yes.
So that's his lady preference right there.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with BBWs now. I mean, Drake even highlights that in one of his songs. He likes some BBW, you know? Take y'all, get some lunch with you. Like that's a vibe, you know? And I heard that during cuffing season, it's a great situation, man. It's wholesome. Like you like it. You got that mom feel a little bit, man. Everybody like that mom feel. You just hold me. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah, bro.
Someone's calling me a simp, but I guess people are thinking since I brought up this tweet that I'm with Vince Williams on that.
I think you are low key, man. I listen. Even though I'm privy to some behind the scenes information on you, I'm not. I'm treating it like everybody else. I think that you are a BBW type of guy, man. I do, and I think that you like them Latina as well. I think you're into that, like just being different, stepping outside the box, because that's what you always talk about. You don't want to be in a box, and from a man that shaved his eyebrow before, I know you willing to like you're a trailblazer, you know.
Listen. Well, I guess I'll reveal some stuff right now.
Here we go. Oh,
I'm not opposed to Latina at all.
Okay,
not opposed.
Okay. Do you su habla español?
Huh?
You speak a little Spanish?
I did take Spanish in grade school and high school. Yes, 7th and 8th grade, all the way up to junior year. Then I had to retire.
So it's a foundation already there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'll put it this way. I like ladies. I like my women. Beautiful. That's all. So it's not
I like them beautiful.
Latino. Whoever, Latino, white, black, whoever.
That's
all. I'll just keep it that simple.
Let's go.
I'll keep it that simple. So if that's what the information people are looking for, there you go.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's an exclusive.
Hot, beautiful. That's it.
It don't
good
matter.
Personality, low key. It's pretty much that simple.
He said short hair, long hair, tall, short, skinny, thick. Thick with them extra C's on it. You know, quarantine thick a little bit. He said it don't matter, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess beautiful. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely, right? Man. And you got to be nice too. You can't be picking on them, okay? Because I feel like, you know, we got this bond here, and I'm gonna feel really some type of way if somebody come here and try to be all aggressive with you, Deke.
Who's picking on me?
You know, just you never know. Some of these ladies out here, man.
Oh, the lady.
Yeah. If a lady tried to, you know, Deke, you're coming with me now. You know, she's like bossing her. I can't have that. You know, you feel me? Like I would step up for you, bro.
I don't know if I like that. Yeah.
I ain't gonna let you go out like that, baby. You know I got your back.
I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, man. You got ladies' parameters out, these ground rules. But yeah, y'all heard what my man said, all right? Y'all heard what he said.
They said I'm in the 7 to 10 range. That's
who I'm dating. No! What? Y'all giving Deke a 7?
No, they're saying I date 7s.
Oh, 7 is the floor.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, 7 is the floor.
Some people are just saying I'm exclusive on 7s right now.
Only 7s?
Yeah, Toxic North, they said only date 7 out of 10s.
He just was I don't want the best. I don't want the worst. Just give me slightly above average. I'm like, right, let me get a B minus. Let me get a B. I don't want anything else. Just B's and B minuses.
Yep. CBHU23. Hey, the 7s are loyal though. Wow.
Wow, this is nuts.
People are going off.
The 7s are loyal. Shout out to the 7s out there, man. It's balanced. Y'all are crazy. That's funny, bro. So what do you consider yourself? Are you a 7 though?
Oh no. I've always considered myself at least 9, 10.
How about to say, always. Man? You I feel like you got peak just like bravado. You know what I'm saying? Your machismo. It just screams like manly.
Yeah, I always have. No matter what look I'm rocking.
Yeah.
I mean, I've rocked the buzz cut. I've rocked long hair, man buns, full beards, the stash. Fat, skinny, somewhat jacked. I've been all over the place, but I've always been like, you know what? I'm up there. I'm always up there.
Man, I just feel like you scream like you wake up, lumberjack shirt. You might have Manscaped right on the spot, eating beef jerky, like, and then you just over here just like gonna cut down a tree, and all the chicks is like, oh my god, it's him. Like that's the vibe I get from you, bro. I can't help it. And let's go UW. Shout out to University of Wyoming. He even agrees. He says Deke needs a strong Southern woman.
Oh,
from the South. Hey man. There's collard greens, little neck bone, little gumbo. Hey now.
So he's talking East Coast South.
East Coast South. Oh, you go Texas.
That's what I mean.
You go Texas too.
South goes
Texas,
East
absolutely.
West Coast.
But that was just, you know, they got gumbo. They got ribs and pulled pork down there in Texas
South,
too.
Not North. Then.
Get you a Southern. Even SoCal though.
Yeah,
Southern Cal, you count that too.
Okay.
San Diego.
Okay.
Are we going to LA? Oh, well. Uh-oh. So who, any eligible young ladies that are in the LA area, Mr. Stud Muffin himself will be touching down there in a couple of weeks. Make sure that y'all plan accordingly, you know? And Kenneth Bieber, man, shout out to Kenneth right here. Love it. I don't even know what this is, but it looks like a lemon with the heart eyes, and is rocking back and forth because they all just think that you are just so beautiful, baby. It's just so beautiful. We love you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Not the biggest long-term relationship type of guy. So it's either someone's gonna have to move to Pittsburgh, someone's gonna have to move to LA.
It's that simple. He said he don't want long distance, but he wants substance.
Unless right? I mean, we got to keep the podcast going. So if I'm moving to LA, you're just gonna have to move too, probably.
Me? I can come to LA with you.
Wife's from the West Coast too.
Is.
It could make sense.
Is. I mean,
but there's something to being here during the season
that's different, right? Like this is like, how can we say that we're the official like grassroots like Pittsburgh podcast? You know what I mean?
Maybe
like,
we come back for the season officially for like 3 games. It's like the players. They live in their home state, hometown, whatever it is. But for Steeler time, Steeler season,
we could do that.
You live here.
We can do that. Hey, we're gonna look into that, man. We'll look into that. And shout out to Vincent, man. Vincent back in the building, baby. We appreciate you. He says, good news, Deke and Moats. I will be an official resident of the 412. I will be closing on my first house in September. I'm here to stay. Vincent, man, awesome to hear that. Major congrats. You know, Vince is one of the big time supporters of the show. Man, love Vince, man, what he's been doing out here, baby. So big time shout out to you. Congrats on the house too, man. Definitely enjoy yourself, baby. And shout out to, let's see who else we got going on in here, man. There we go. Jay Sawyer, man. Harrisburg, PA. I see you now. What you got? What you laughing at, man? What you see? I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't popped up yet.
We just got some people in the super chat here.
Okay. Because I did see Damp. He said he's from San Diego, and he said he got you when you come out there, man.
I think you got to read this one.
Oh, no.
You got to scroll all the way down, I think.
Oh. Yo, wow. The BMW?
Yeah. From Darren Dalton.
Shout out to Darren Dalton, man. Shout out to Darren Dalton. He says Deke likes BMWs, and we're not referring to the car either. We are talking about the big Mexican women. And for a fact, bro, they are beautiful, bro. They're beautiful women, man.
Yeah.
I can see you with one.
Dude, you never know. Like I said,
you love to eat tacos.
Listen, I told you. Women that are beautiful, they're hot. That's my type. That's about it. It's pretty much that simple. So it could be anyone, any race, whatever it is.
We're going to see, man.
Yeah.
But y'all heard it here, all right? So now that is out the way, now we got to react to my dog, a guy that has decided to transition out of the NFL. Hopefully I got this thing going on the right way, man. There we go. Woo! That's how you know it's a good day, baby, when you just pop it up and it's the right one that pops. So you never know sometimes over here now. But, ladies and gentlemen, man, we got to get to this first topic, man. Vince Williams officially calling it a career. Man, 8 seasons in the NFL, all here in Pittsburgh, out of the 6th round. One of my dudes. Oh, man, look, man. You talk about 6th round success stories. Tom Brady is up there. AB is obviously up there, but Vince for certain needs to be up there as well, man. You listen to his story, man, but he was able to just overcome, man. Now, granted, he went to Florida State, but not in the same vein as what you would think in terms of some of these other bigger time players that come out of there in their first round draft picks. So for him to have lasted as long as he did and have the success that he did while still having to overcome the different challenges of first round draft picks being drafted in his position. We talked about, he shared the story about how him and Ryan, when Ryan got drafted here, it was, beef because he wanted to be the guy and he felt
I never heard this.
Yeah. So he was saying that, this is after his rookie year, and he had played a lot his rookie year because of the injuries. So he was thinking that going into his second year, which was my first year here in Pittsburgh, that it was going to be his show. It was going to be his opportunity to start next to Lawrence Timmons. But remember in that year, that's when we drafted Ryan Shazier. So when they moved Ryan to inside linebacker, because that was a little bit of a conversation as well, would he play outside or inside? Because me and Vince talked about it because I just signed here and I'm playing outside. I'm like, bro, I ain't signed here for you to draft another first round draft pick right there. You just drafted Jarvis a year ago and you still got Jason Rose. So
did you know the next year, right?
Right. Little did we know. So that was the mindset at the time. So when Shazier went inside, Vince was, he talked about, he was like pissed off about it. And he was saying that the thing that made them become so close was Vince figured he always could outwork everyone because as 6th rounders, we always feel like that. We feel like we're going to outwork any first-round draft pick because first-round draft picks are so talented. A lot of times they don't feel that urgency to have to put the extra work in. So he was saying how he would always try to put the extra work in, but Shea was always there.
Oh,
he goes out to AZ, put the extra work in. Shea goes out there too. Every day he's out there, never missing a workout, never. And he was just like, you get to the point where you're trying to kill yourself because you're trying so hard to outwork this guy. And then you just realize like, all right, he's just like me. And then from there, he was like, that's what really helped them become so much closer and why they're like brothers. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, when I heard that, it was just like, it always resonated because I'm like, yo, I can feel that. Like we've been through that situation. But to see him be able to have an 8-year career outlast a ton of people.
Would have been 9. It was his choice,
I mean,
though.
Absolutely. He walked away on his own terms. He easily could have played another year or 2 realistically. But to me, man, it was just like, dude, it was an awesome job by him, man, just to make it to what he did, to where he did, man.
I saw a stat on the Steelers website. They released a statement listing all of his accolades and stuff. The one that really stuck out, it was at the very bottom. And you might find this interesting. I don't know if you know this or not. Out of his draft class, what year was it? 2010, 2011?
No, he was 13.
Okay.
He came in 13. Yeah, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, so only 10 people in that draft class have played more games than him. And he was a 6th round pick, and they were all drafted before him.
Yeah,
that's
insane.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yes, insane, man. But you talk about durability. You talk about availability. You talk about productivity. Like, he's done all of that when the odds have been stacked against him. I mean, we all know he's not the best athlete. He's not the fastest. He's not the biggest. He's not the strongest. But what he understood was this, and this is something that Donald Copeland even said. Donald said that he's the best blitzing linebacker we've had since Peasy. And this is the thing that Vince identified. In this league, man, as a linebacker, you're 2 things. You're either a linebacker that can cover or you're a linebacker that can blitz and get after that quarterback. That's it. You're one or the other. You know what I mean? If you can't do one of those and like specialize in them, you're not going to last in this league.
Or you're just elite top 5. Yeah.
Right. If you're not, like, that's what you have to be. One, you either have to excel in coverage or excel at rushing. One or the other. For him, he said, I can't cover like that. He knew it. He identified. He said, man, I just can't get it. But he said, what I can do is this. If I'm going up against running backs, I got the size advantage, I got the speed advantage, and mentally, I got that advantage. And he literally formulated moves. He started to work on that craft. And I remember watching him. I remember this conversation with him, bro, 2014, 2015. And he's like, Moats, I'm trying to rush the passer. He would come on in and work little pass rush moves with us. I'm like, all right, Vince, but bro, you inside, bro. You better work on your coverage, man. You know what y'all got. And we couldn't see it, but it was like he was already formulating, like, look, man, I'm going to dominate this thing from the inside. And from there, you think when he started getting close to I think he had 10 sacks to one season, then flirted with it again. That's special, man. That's special, but that was him mentally. He knew that's what he had to take for him to stay in this league that long, man.
Yeah, big shout out to him, dude. I mean, even last year, coming out of nowhere at the beginning of the season with some of those big hits, like he was easily one of the top 3 or 4 players on our defense with how the season started. Just all the tackles for loss, the big hits, setting the tone. Like, he's been doing that throughout his career. Talk about leadership, and then we've also even talked about whenever we've brought up the inside linebacker and Devin Bush and who's going to be stepping up, who's going to be wearing the green dot. Yeah. I mean, Vince Williams has been a leader on the defense too, making sure people are in the right position and whatnot to do all this. And even that little stat that I brought up about him being
playing the 11th most,
11th most games out of his whole draft class. That's just a big testament. Big shout out to him.
Yeah, without a doubt. And something that you just hit on with his leadership, man. And Steeler Nation 412, I do agree with this comment. Steeler Nation 412 said that Vince showed success and loyalty in every category. For a fact, he definitely did that, man, 100%. Even at the end of it, right, where, you know, he's released, but then he doesn't do the sour grapes, fuss about it. He still signs for less money to come back. That takes a lot. That takes a lot of loyalty right there, man, and a lot of just maturity. But something that you talked about was his leadership. And the reason why I love that part, and that does kind of transition to like the second part of his retirement in terms of like the timing of it and what it means. I love his leadership because that was one of the big things that we thought, even if he's not the starter, even if Robert Spillane or Buddy Johnson were to beat him out, we thought that him being there was monumental because he was the calming presence in that room. He was going to be able to keep those guys on the right path. And now when you take him out of there, now you start asking yourself, well, where does that leadership come from? who's the calming voice? We already talked about Devin Bush a little bit this offseason and how, the maturity came into question a little bit. But we always wanted under the mindset that at least we got Vince. When he gets back, man, Vince is the common voice. So right now you're looking at maybe Robert Spillane, but I just feel like the leadership in that room right now takes a significant hit because he was a guy that not only could lead by example, but could lead with his words. And now when you just take that away, I mean, essentially the day of camp, because it happened on reporting day, it really puts you in a little bit of an interesting situation right there.
Yeah, the timing is actually pretty funny and interesting because...
You want to get into the timing?
Sure.
We can talk timing too.
Yeah, I guess it goes hand in hand with all this stuff that we're talking about because he tweeted out, like, I don't know, a few weeks ago or something, man, I just want to win a championship for this city.
If you follow him on Instagram, he's literally been posting highlights of him smashing dudes. Like, these are all the plays that we remember Vince. He was like, he went to sleep right there. Oh, he went to sleep right there. Oh, I remember Vince, when you hit this dude and he went to sleep, we always on the sideline. You know what we said? You know what Vince gonna do? Sleep button. Like, and then he just retires.
I wonder what it was, because I'm not thinking conspiracy thing where Steelers are trying to move him out or anything. And because I don't even know how much cap space we saved with him retiring. And I don't know how much that's really going to benefit us
remember they already had
like that.
Remember they already had cut him from the big contract. So this part, it was just from, I think when he came out, was just on a vet minimum deal. So it's not even you're not going to save anything significant from this one. But we did save on the first one, though.
Well, even at that, fills a big need right now. It's not like we wanted him to leave because we talk about that leadership and just what we have going on at inside linebacker right now. So I'm pushing that aside. I'm not thinking that's the case. So probably just comes down to Vince. Not feeling it. I don't know if you could explain it. I mean, you've retired from the NFL. You've said, "Hey, this is just it."
So yeah, let me talk about it, man, because this actually has a ton of layers, and I'm actually glad that we're gonna get this chance to just chop it up about my dog, man. So when the news first came, I did see people saying, "Well, why would he retire now? He could have done it when they released him, right? He could have retired then if he didn't want to play anymore. How do you change your mind, right? He just re-signed. He looked like he was happy. He was at OTA's minicamp. Why now? Why now? It doesn't make sense." This is how it could have been, right? And I'm going to give you just a couple of scenarios here. It could have been as simple, first off, as the contract, right? You get asked to take a pay cut, but it's under the premise that you're going to come back. You're going to at least get the opportunity to compete for the starting spot, right? You, Robert Spillane, y'all get a chance to compete for it. And then say OTAs and minicamp comes and the reps aren't divided in a way that he thought they should be, right? In terms of if I'm told that, hey, I'm gonna get a chance to compete with you, we got 8 reps total and it's supposed to be 4 and 4, but instead it's more 6 and 2. How you gonna feel about that? So it could have been that, and then from there, him just saying to himself, you know what, man, I've made my money, I'm healthy, I don't have to deal with this anymore. And the same way they cut me out the blue, I'm gonna just retire out the blue. Like, it is what it is. That could be a scenario. Not saying that it is, but that is something that you have to deal with as a player, right? That's the one way. That's one scenario. Second scenario could simply be this. And I don't think he sustained any injuries, nothing like that. But say at the end of minicamp, going into that, all those last 3 weeks, say he just wasn't feeling healthy anymore. Like, man, something just nagging. It's nagging. Maybe I didn't have to have surgery, but I just don't feel like I could do it to the same level, which happens. I mean, I remember going into the AFC Championship game and warming up, and I'm like, yo, my hip is killing me because I had messed it up in the Chiefs game the week before. But I didn't have to have surgery. I wasn't even on the injury report. But you're going out there, you're like, bro, I don't feel good.
Pull to Brady.
Like, you're seriously, you're like, bro, I don't feel good. Like, yo, I remember warming up, like, yo, I can't like move my hips the way I need to. Like, this sucks right here. It could have been something like that. And him just simply saying, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. It's only going to get worse as the season goes on. And he could be saying, you know what? I'm going to walk away right now and just save it. Now, the last option could also be this. And this is a scenario that I've had to deal with as well. You go in football, you go through phases, right? And you're very fortunate if you make it to the third phase. Not a lot of us make it there, but when you do, you're very fortunate. So you start out as the hunter. Those first couple of years, you are trying to take everyone's head off. Teammates, vets, you don't care about anybody. You got to get it. All right. Then you go to that second stage of where you're the man. You know, the people are trying to hunt after you, but you that guy, you bring them on, right? You in your prime years, right? And then if you're really fortunate, you go to that third stage where now you have to become the mentor. And that's the part where for some guys, they don't want to do that because think about Vince, right? And think about Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane went from being released to being on the practice squad, essentially being Vince's backup, to now, hey, Vince, Spillane's going to start over you. You coach him up. You tell him your secrets. What do you see pre-snap to make you shoot a gap and get a tackle for a loss? Coach him up. That's tough to do, especially when you're coming off of starting 14 games and feeling like you can still get it done at a high level. So now you're over here dealing with that just inner, battle of, I still feel like I'm this dude. I still feel like I specialize in this and nobody can touch me in that. But yet you're telling me I need to turn that off and go more coach mode and say, hey, look at this right here. You see his feet? All right, when that toe goes like that, that's when you should trigger. Now I got to give him the secrets. Not everybody wants to do that. Like I said,
not even the secrets. He might be thinking too, I could just do this better.
And seriously. So when you throw all of those in there, typically guys react one of three ways. You got the guys that'll just say, you know what, I'd rather retire. We saw Troy do that, right? Obviously, we could see in this scenario, it could be Vince doing that. We've had guys that take the approach like I did, right? My last 2 years, I said, I don't mind being a mentor. Chicolo went from being a guy that I saw, almost in tears from him being cut as a draft pick to being on the practice squad to, okay, now you're the guy that I'm having to tell you what to do because you're the third rusher now. You know what I mean? Even though I felt like I was a better player. It was just like, no, this is how it has to be. So you have to say, all right, can you do that? For me, I looked at it as simple business. Y'all gonna pay me how many millions of dollars to talk to Bud, to talk to Chick, to talk to TJ? I say, yo, I can do that. I could do it. It was that. I promise you.
You're on that premium teacher salary.
Listen, I promise you, it was that simple for me. It was that simple. I said, you're gonna still pay me my contract because remember, I was 2 years into it now, and they're like, yeah, we're still gonna. I'm like, I can do that. I will show up to work every day with the biggest smile, and I'm going to coach them. I will give them every trick of the trade that I have, and it was fine. And I got to see the contract. It was great. So that's the other way. But then you have the third
and you got
approach.
Good relationships too.
Very true. Very true. To this day. And all those dudes, even Chick, and I laugh with Chick to this day about it because I was like, yo, Chick hurt me the hardest because I'm like, that was the one where I felt like I watched him grow and really
he wasn't even the first round pick.
Right, because like with Bud, we knew what it was. I'm like, we're going to work together, but I know, bro, this is your spot. You should be the guy. I shouldn't be out here in front of you. I can't do what you can do. So that was always the mindset. But with Chick, it was different. So that was the one where it was like, oh, it would hurt me. But because of that, and because of me being able to be humble and him as well, that's why today we're like brothers, like that's my guy. So all of those things played out. But then the third way you can handle it is the way that I don't necessarily recommend. And that's the way that we saw James Harrison handle it, right? The way we seen Aaron Rodgers handle it a little bit in terms of when James came back, he didn't want to hear of this. Well, I'm not going to be the guy. He didn't want to groom a TJ Watt. Even though he was still loved there, he still wanted to play. You know what I mean? And from there, he decided to say, well, you know what? If you're not going to play me here, I'm going to take the hardball approach and force my way out. And we saw just, even though it worked out for him in terms of him getting his release, being in that situation, it was a toxic environment because of that. And that's not the best way to handle it. So I do think that if Vince wasn't going to be a guy to say, you know what, I'll be humble, I'll, mentor these guys, even though it's killing you, because imagine like at your job right now, right? It only happens in football too. Most people in your job, the longer you work, you don't have to worry about training your replacement. And then, you got to watch him grow and surpass you. Oh, you used to be the CEO. Now you don't watch this person go from nobody to they're your boss now. Like, no. That doesn't happen like that, nor that quickly either. But in football, that you deal with that. So it's such a tough thing to handle as well, man. Super tough, bro.
That would make sense. Like one of those scenarios, probably the third one you were talking about, like that they're thinking Spillane's going to get the majority of the snaps. Probably seems most likely based off some of the stuff that we were talking about with the videos and the tweets of him being excited to win a Super Bowl for Pittsburgh. Do you think there's another scenario, though? Because I know we've talked about your last couple of years with the Steelers and in the NFL and what you were thinking about retirement. I mean, that may have been part of it, but you were also talking like, I got some other interests.
Yeah.
I got some other things I'd like to try out, media and stuff. Do you think maybe he was just not feeling football anymore? He's thinking about something else?
Honestly,
Or is that you think it's more of what you were talking about?
I think it's one of the ones that I had dropped solely because knowing personally Vince for 4 years, bro, as a teammate, this dude is a football junkie. Like, loves the game. Like, and not just the Sunday part. Like, he's a process guy. He's a Monday through Friday. Let's get in the lab. Let's watch tape. Let me study this. Let me practice this. Like, he's one of those guys who are addicted to that. When you find that, that's why you get those guys to last that long. I'm the same way. And that's why we clicked, because we're very much addicted to the process. Sundays are cool, but I love that grind. It's something about just being able to see it and understand it and infiltrate it. And now you formulate this plan to just dissect it. Like, I just love that. And he's the same way. So I don't think that it was a outside interest, man. I think it was legitimately one of those scenarios, though, that I laid out, man, because that's the hardest part. Because if you're Vince, you can still do media if you wanted to do media. Not saying that was it, but if he wanted to do media, he could easily do that while playing. In fact, a lot of times they say you start if you have an endeavor that you already are passionate about, that you know you want to do, a lot of times they say start it while you're playing, especially at the back end, because you already have those eyes. You already have that
people even
platform.
say that if you're just working a normal job and want to start doing something on the side.
Yeah, you do it then. If you wait, now, the longer you're out of it, and now you're trying to start it up 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, you're not as hot anymore. People don't recognize it the same anymore. It doesn't hold the same type of attention. So that's why they say if he was gonna do something like that, it would make more sense to just keep playing and do that.
Yeah, then the only other option would be you're just not feeling football anymore. But then based off everything you said, how comparable he is to you and how much he loves football,
like, dude,
that doesn't really add up.
Loves it, man.
So yeah, probably one of your scenarios. It just wasn't gonna play out exactly as he planned in terms of playing time.
Yeah, man.
That's probably it.
Yeah. So that part is definitely going to be interesting, though, man, in terms of where we're at now, though, right? Because you go from expecting to have at least Vince in the fold, whether it's as the starter or at least as your depth guy, you would have that. But now you go from that to essentially Spillane. Does he walk into it? And I mean, I feel like he becomes the surefire starter now because Buddy is not going to be ready that soon. And we talked about that as well. I just don't think he's going to be ready that soon. And with Marcus Allen and Ulysses Gilbert, they bring different things to the table from an athletic perspective, but they haven't produced. They haven't had the experience. At least with Spillane, we've seen him have some success. We've seen him out there in a couple of games now. But to me, that becomes really interesting, man.
It definitely does. It's going to be Bush and Spillane then.
Yeah.
And there was something that went around social media about could Spillane be like a bona fide starter or a stud middle linebacker. Someone tweeted out and Vince actually responded to it.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I know for a fact he could be. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And hopefully the Spillane before the injury shows up next year because...
Right, that's the key.
Dude, him and Bush, and if Bush is right, all of a sudden our middle linebacker... comes a strength in a way. It's something that we're talking about weakness, especially with depth right now. But if Spillane shows up and Bush is right, I like our chances there. But it is an uncertainty. It is an uncertainty.
And I feel like the big question on Spillane is, were those first couple of games where he was just explosive in the playmaking, was that a flash in the pan? Was that an outlier? Or is that the norm for him? Or was what we saw when he came back in that wild card game versus Cleveland, is that more around the vein that he's in? And we're going to find that out. I mean, nobody has the answer to that. I don't have that answer. Nobody has that answer.
You can make speculation since the Steelers seem that gung-ho on keeping Spillane or having him playing a majority role, that they're thinking it's just the injury. That's why he showed up like that against the Browns.
Yeah, because I part of me thinks that, but then the other part is like, well, why did they even bring Vince back then? And draft Buddy Johnson in the fourth. If you're going to draft Buddy in the fourth, Buddy is more athletic than Vince. If you're going to ride with Spillane, why even worry about Vince? You know what I mean? Like, because we already talked about the money that they would save by doing it. Yeah, that's the only part for me where I'm just like, I can see yes to one part, but then I'm also just like,
maybe that's what it was, though. Yeah. That's why Vince ended up retiring, because the Steelers viewed it as more of a nice depth move in case Bush gets hurt again or Spillane gets hurt. Like, Vince can just come right in. and they were always going to plan on having Spillane start or have the majority of the snaps from the start.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it was Vince, because he'd obviously be more ready than Buddy Johnson to step into that role like mid-season in case of injury.
It's true.
And then he could also give you that leadership and mentorship before the season and just even throughout the week. Now, so maybe that's how the Steelers viewed it. Like Vince would be a big benefit to them from that standpoint, but maybe Vince was hoping for more playing time, and the Steelers weren't willing to give that to him.
This is going to be interesting. Now, do you have any concerns about the play calling now, though, the green dot? Because our, my Irish brother, Michael Patrick McCracken, he says that maybe D. Bush, talk about Devin, can tweet the defensive calls out. So I was asking, do you have any concerns about that?
Well, Vince was the guy then all last year when he was in.
When typically when Vince is out there, Vince has the dot. Yeah.
Spillane didn't have it at all.
Was Vince and Spillane out there
That's
together?
what I mean.
I don't remember their time. I don't remember the time.
They were.
I remember, was it Tennessee, right?
They were for a decent amount.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Bush then. Yeah. We were talking about it. I mean, this is just the next step for him.
That's the progression. I just wish we could have saw that last year, because that was the part where he, when he goes down like that, you miss a ton of that part. But he's going to have to be the guy, right?
Was he the guy before he got hurt? Did he have the green dot? I can't remember. I think
remember.
We were talking about it last preseason.
We talked about it. I don't remember off the top of my head, though, man.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Maybe someone knows in the comments, but I just feel like that's the natural progression for Bush. Right. Like, it's got to be you, dude. We drafted you first round. Yeah. You're supposed to be the stud middle linebacker
overall. Like, come on, man. It's time to grow. We got to take the training wheels off. It's expedited.
Yeah. It's just going to have to be the case.
That's an expedited
who else?
process, man.
I mean, you thinking Minka?
Now, you could do that. They've done TJ before. But the problem is when TJ has to come out the game, now you have to go hand signals. Whether it's only a couple of plays here and there, but you still have to go that route. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Whereas Minka's out there every play.
TJ, it's a given. He's going to play like 80% of the snaps just because you need that as an edge rusher. Bush will play 100%. Same with Minka. I think you just got to do Bush.
I feel like that's what it is, Bush, man. Hey, he got to grow up, baby. It's time.
It's just time, because if you're going to give it to Minka to start off, we're still going to be like, all right, Bush is going to get it eventually. Yeah. At what point?
He got to grow. It's time, man. It's time, and he got to be the leader of the room, man.
Now, do you think the Steelers are thinking about any free agents right now?
So that becomes the interesting part, because you have guys that are available. KJ Wright's available. Nigel Bradham's available. Is it not Quan?
I think he is.
Yeah,
I don't think he's signed.
I want to say Quan Alexander. He's still available.
Yep.
Also, so there are plenty of options, but this is and Avery Williamson as well, who obviously was here last season.
Yeah, Quan's still available.
So the interesting part is this: it depends on how the team views Devin. If they feel like Devin,
more on Devin than Spillane.
So just hear me out.
Okay. We
know what Spillane is right now, right? He's more of a downhill thumper, right? Can he cover? Sure, but that's not what he's. We don't view him as a cover linebacker. We're viewing Devin Bush as a coverage linebacker. We just haven't seen him really excel there just yet. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of how the team views Devin. KJ Wright, he's a cover linebacker. If you're bringing in KJ Wright, that means you're saying to yourself, Devin, we like you a lot. We don't think you're ready to be the cover guy just yet. We're going to have you playing more in this box. KJ, you're going to do this cover stuff, but now Spillane, that bumps you off the field. Okay? Now, if they feel that Devin can cover and he can do everything that you need, well, now you're going to go the other route. You're going to get you a thumper, somebody that can really give you that Vince Williams type of downhill play. And now you'll go and work accordingly off of the guys that are available. But it's really going to depend on how they view Devin, because you just wouldn't put two small. Yeah, you're not going to put two coverage linebackers out there, you see? But you would, and Devin's going to be out there. It's just, do they view Devin as the cover guy just yet? Or do they view him as, you know what, let's just keep him playing more in the box. Let's not expose him as much just yet until he gets his legs under him. That, to me, is going to be how we find this out. But I don't anticipate them making a move right away, though, either way. I think that they're going to...
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that they're going to ride this thing out, at least through the preseason. Not just Spillane, but Buddy Johnson as well.
Because I'm assuming they're thinking Bush is going to ball out this year. Mm-hmm. That he's going to really reach his potential, be this coverage linebacker that we're thinking. So that takes KJ right off.
Because there is a difference between balling out and excelling in coverage. It's a difference.
Sure.
Let's be real
I think
about it.
I think he's
It's
gonna put
a big difference.
I think he's gonna put it all together. I'll put it that way. How about that?
Yeah. About to say, I've seen plenty of people ball out 100+ tackles, a couple fumbles, everything, and they can't cover to save their life. They zone coverage guys, not man coverage guys, and that's the part right now. We doing a lot more man stuff than zone stuff. Like, for example, like Tremaine Edmonds, right? The linebacker up in Buffalo. Great player, right? Will excel in zone coverage, but you're not really going to have him doing a ton of man-to-man coverage stuff, right? That's not his strong point, but he's still a great player. He's still super productive. But in our scheme, Devin's going to have to be more man-to-man. Devin's matching up with these dudes. So that's the part. We need to see that on tape.
So I'm going to bring up some names.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about thumpers, and because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know if there's any guys out there that are that throwback type of mold that Vince Williams was and are necessarily just going to step in and be better than Spillane even.
Right, because Spillane can do that. Yeah.
So Quan Alexander, we talked about.
I like Quan a lot.
Avery Williamson. We talked about the Reuben Foster scenario like a month ago, right? This would be
Reuben he's a really good player. I tell you, the big thing for me with Reuben, you just have to make sure that all the transgressions,
the off the field stuff,
that everything checked out and was what it was. Because if any of that stuff pops back up and it's not, you just can't have that, man.
Josh Bynes.
I remember Josh is limited though. I love Josh's game though in terms of above the neck. So we were out in AZ together. Extremely cerebral. Think like Vince from a mentality point of view, but athletically not as physically imposing or as explosive as like Vince. I would much rather bring back Avery Williamson than go Josh. Josh can still get it done, but he's not gonna fit exactly what we want. But he's familiar with the division, though, because obviously he played with the Ravens for a while, man.
B.J. Goodson from the Browns.
I'm rolling with Spillane over that.
I don't even recognize half these other names, to be honest with you. Those were probably the big names that are
if
still
it's
available.
not those top five to six guys that we just named off, like I don't think any of those other guys are going to be a significant upgrade over Spillane.
Yeah, and then I had to go to the outside linebackers for KJ Wright. I guess they just have him listed as that, but he would be the inside guy for our system.
Because the 4-3 linebackers, they're going to have them as outside linebackers. So like Darius Leonard, KJ Wright, I'm drawing a blank on another dude, man. But all of those type of dudes are going to be listed outside.
Sure. So those are the names. And
that's interesting, man.
I have similar sentiments with you. I don't think we should be in that big of a rush right now.
Yeah, I don't mind waiting. I want to see, because we already said we thought that Spillane could beat out
We already
Vince.
thought he was going to get 60, 70 maybe.
Yeah, we said that he was going to be playing, but we thought that Vince was going to be able to do enough to kind of carve out his own little niche anyways. But we're excited to see what Spillane can do, because what he did in that short, granted it was a small sample, kind of similar to Dotson. Small sample size, but very, very dominant and productive in that sample size. Yeah. So it has us all intrigued. Like Dotson can come out here and fall on his face. Spillane come out here and fall on his face, but they have earned that opportunity at least based on what they did last year. So I'm fine waiting. I just, I need Buddy to grow faster too.
Okay.
Because
insurance.
Yeah, because
what about Gilbert though? We talked about him being the Jalen Samuels of the linebackers.
Yeah, he has been, but availability.
Even Marcus Allen though too.
I like Marcus. I like him a lot. But we saw in Buffalo, he looked small in there. Like, you can be light. Because we've seen Shazier play. He was light. We saw Devin early in, like, the first year. Devin was still a smaller guy. But they never looked little playing. At times, Marcus looked little in there. He looked like a safety playing in the box. And
he got yoked up, though, right?
Yeah, he's gotten bigger. But we haven't seen. I need to see that. Like, how does that affect his speed, his athletic ability? Like, I need to see all of that. And we haven't seen it just yet.
Well, out of those three guys, we're just looking for them to have a role. Percentage of snaps. In case of injury, though, I mean, that could be troublesome. That's when you're definitely probably looking to sign someone.
And you think about both of the starters right now are coming off of injuries, right? Devin's coming off of the ACL, and then Spillane came off the MCL, right? So either way, you've seen two guys that haven't played. Neither one of those guys have played full seasons in their career just yet.
Yeah, as much as I want to say, injuries are going to fuck up any team realistically, but there are players that are a little more injury prone than others that you kind of got to worry about. And hoping that's not the case for Bush and Spillane. Hopefully these are just one-offs and they go on to have a healthy career.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think we're good as of right now. We're good. Out of those three
I'm patient.
guys.
I don't mind being patient with those guys.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as pressing of a need. I think we wait till we see what this preseason starts to look like. And now
2 weeks. Wait, is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. First game is on the 5th. Yeah, man. So
shit's gonna be going crazy.
Yeah, bro, I can't wait. I'm so excited about it, bro. And we gonna have big announcements when we come back in terms of show times and structure. So that's gonna be a dope scene, man. Yeah, we're definitely hype about it. But yeah, I just feel like, man, give me a couple preseason games to see what Spillane looks like, to see what Buddy Johnson looks like, to see how improved Devin Bush is. Can Marcus Allen run with the extra weight on him? Like, how does that? I want to see all of that before we start saying, all right, let's sign this guy, let's sign that guy.
Yeah, mess up team chemistry a little bit or something like that.
Well, and even confidence. I'm a big guy that talks about the confidence, the mental part of the game, because that's the part that a lot of people neglect and they overlook, but it's very significant. And we've seen players not perform well when mentally they're not in the right space. So I just think if you hurry up and bring in one of these guys, what's the message you keep sending to Spillane? We like you. We don't love you. You cool. You ain't that good. We trying to get you. We don't want you to be our starter. We done brought back Vince. Brought him back for cheap. See if that would work. It didn't work. All right, we didn't sign KJ. Oh, we done brought in we brought Avery in last year, right? Even while you would start, we brought Avery in. Right on the dime. We didn't care. We even paid him.
That was just being smart, though, I think.
But I'm just perception, though.
Sure.
Perception is you keep bringing players in here. Because just think, right? Even with us, if we just kept bringing, hey, we got a new guest host today. We got a new guest host. You'll be over here like, bro, like, you trying to tell me something here? Like, what's up? Hey, Deke, you good, bro? This is guest host. Don't worry about it, Deke. Don't worry about it. It's good. You be like, nah, I don't feel comfortable here. Like, this isn't cool. So if you're Spillane and you're like, okay, I was supposed to be the guy. You brought this guy in. All right. You cut him and then brought him back in. Okay. And they better bring another. You drafted this guy in the 4th round. Oh, okay. And then you can bring in this. Eventually you'll be like, all right, man, something ain't adding up here. I'm just
Sure.
You catch my drift.
What do you think of the Spillane Bush combo though? Because
I like it.
We were talking about this a while back.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could work out awesome if Spillane is healthy and he's what he was before the injury, because he brings that Vince Williams element of being the thumper, but he is a little bit better in coverage. And I think that's the type of balance we could need with Bush and Spillane back there. I think there's some potential. No,
I do too, man. I really think that it can work. I like when you have that contrast, the quote unquote thunder and lightning, right? You need to have a thumper and you need to have a coverage guy. When you don't have that blend, when you don't have that mix, that's where you run into some issues, man. And that's the part where I'm just like, with these guys being split like that, so different in terms of Devin being smaller, faster, should be able to excel in coverage. That part I love. And then when you think of Spillane, a little bit bigger body type, plays more downhill, physical. We all know the Derrick Henry play. That part right there, I'm like, I love that. I think that this is why it can work like that, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty amped up. What are the comments?
Dude, I'm so mad, man. I was literally just about to read this super chat from up top, and it just reset my chat and disappeared. But it was a guy named CJ, and he was saying that he's coming to.
I lost it.
So yeah, what he said, and CJ, we appreciate you as well, man, and the support. He said that he's coming up for his first game, the Baltimore game. He says that he already knows to go to the Strip and go to DeLuca's, but he was asking for any other recommendations.
We always say Permanis.
Well, yeah, that, but I would say go to Mount Washington as well, man. Go to Mount Washington, take the incline.
Coughlin's Law's pretty cool up there. They got a cool couple bars.
Yeah, cool couple bars, but also great view overlooking all of downtown. You can see Heinz Field, PNC Park. I would definitely recommend hitting Mount Washington and going up on the incline, man, so you can see just how beautiful the city is. Get you, it's a couple like fancier restaurants up there too, if you're looking for that as well, man.
Yeah, North Shore, by the stadium.
You could always go to Southside too if you're looking for some.
If you're
trying to have some little trouble, you know.
Yeah, North Shore, Southside.
North Shore if you're trying to be, reserved and have a little bit more mature fun. Southside if you're just trying to get out there like it's the good old times in college. All right, just depend on which one you're looking for. Either way, if you go Southside, bring a vest just to stay safe. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, the city's nice though. If you're gonna be in the city,
you got to go to the city.
Walk around a little bit. Yeah. Market Square, even in kind of like the middle of the city. You can grab
there's plenty of stuff to just walk downtown.
What is it?
Man. Penn Ave,
it's a real thing that you got to go to the original Permanis?
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
You got to go to that.
There's one in Market Square too, but
it's
if you
got to
go to the OG
South
one,
Hills as well. But you got to go to the OG, man.
Market Square is at least close enough. But yeah, I get it because South Hills. If you're going to anyone, I think there's over one in West Mifflin too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different vibe than at least being in the city. Market Square is at least in the city, but if you got to go to the OG one, that's on the Strip, right? The Strip District?
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one you gotta go to.
All right, go to that one.
Well, and in the Strip, man, there's just so much to walk around and do as well, man. Like, you could just park your car and just, I mean, the different shops. If you're looking for food, candy, like legit Yinzer apparel, like diehard Pittsburgh stuff. Even for the people that are trying to visit Mars while you're in town, they got those type of stores and dispensaries down there as well. Not that I know from firsthand experience, but I heard Sunnyside is located down there, and Salivo is the other one. But that's just from researching, all right? So if you're looking for that, that's where you get that type of stuff at as well, man. But you can't go wrong, man, down there in the Strip District. Can't go wrong. But yeah, Mount Washington, definitely go check that out, man. And getting back to this chat also, man, let's go University of Wyoming, UW. Yep. He says that Vince is the kind of player like Cam. I'd love to see them coach like Ward has, talking about once he's retired. I agree, man. Vince would make a great coach. He kind of reminds me of a coach that I had that played in Pittsburgh out in Arizona by the name of Larry Foote. And it was funny because obviously Footy played with my man Vince as well when Vince was a rookie. And I could just see his stamp on him in terms of how he looks at the game, how he understands things, pre-snap keys, breaking down tendencies. A lot of similarities there. And obviously Larry just won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a part of their coaching staff as well, man. So I could easily see Vince transition into that role. He's a guy that can relate to being a late round draft pick. He's a guy that can relate to being, the poorest guy in the room. And he could also relate to being the starter. He could relate to being the highest paid guy in the room. He could relate to, playing in significant games and being out there in critical moments. He has that diversity to do that. And that's what makes guys like him so unique. When you go from, a 6th round and you're able to play longer than these guys and make more money and be productive, your perspective of things are totally different. And that's how you're able to be one of those coaches that really has that type of impact, man. So I could easily see him doing that without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. We got a couple new upper room members.
All right, let's get to it. Where we at?
We got Wyatt Kirby.
Wyatt Kirby. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, baby.
And then we got Sean Ferguson.
Sean, what's good, baby? Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Welcome, baby. We love you. The people love you. That's what we do.
Yeah. I think we're caught up on the chat. I don't know if you're seeing anything else.
I'm just now scrolling down, bro. I'm looking through. It's a ton, man. Shout out to everybody that's been in the chat too, man. I think we got some people giving recommendations from my Pittsburgh, man. I know Kenneth Beamer, shout out to him. He just said hit that like button because he said that it's about 375 people in this chat right now.
Nice.
And we're sitting at 116 likes right now.
200 at least.
And Kenneth
maybe 300 by the end of it.
Exactly. Kenneth wasn't feeling this viewer to like ratio, and I agree. I'm not feeling it either, man.
No. We got CJ checking back in. Appreciate it, fellas. No Southside for me. Ain't trying to get shot on my honeymoon.
Yes, don't do that. Don't get shot on the honeymoon, man. and CJ, we definitely appreciate you, man. But yeah, you don't want to get shot on your honeymoon, man. That Southside during the day, though. If you go during the day,
it's nice.
Fatheads is super good, man. They have the local breweries, man, where they essentially because they brew all of their beer at Fatheads, correct?
I think they just got good beer.
It's super good.
The Bumbleberry's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's all of like it should be all local beer though, man. It's super good and it's right on the strip. Go during the day though. Long as you out by like 7 o'clock, you good.
You can do Permanis down there too. They got one.
They got it right there. Yeah, absolutely, they got it. If you need somewhere to park, it's parking down there too, man. We found parking. Yeah, you can park down there.
What else do they got?
They got Carmi's down there. That's a little soul food spot.
Yeah, they got a bunch of spots like Fatheads down there.
Yeah, and you could just like walk to, man. The Milkshake Factory is awesome. That's on the same block as well as Fatheads. A little further down though, but that's super good as well, man.
Yeah, you got
options, man.
Yeah, you could have a little day drink down there. Have your lunch at like noon.
Just be gone by 7 p.m. You all right?
Well, yeah, if you're coming on a Saturday,
treat it like Gotham City. Don't when it gets dark, you don't want to be there, man.
You can watch some college football.
Yeah,
day drink, grab a meal, then hop bars and stuff. Yeah, it'd be a good time for you if you do Southside.
This is funny. Rod Dollar says, yeah, definitely bring the strap. And the analyzer says, yeah, I'm hearing the South Side is the new Wild Wild West. That's how would you describe for what we were able to see, during our time on it? We saw celebrities.
That was just what, a week ago.
Yeah, it was about a week ago.
Yeah, because that was my first time down Southside or really out like that. I went to Lawrenceville like a month ago.
Lawrenceville is chill.
It was out.
Yeah,
it was pretty nice. Did Southside. I don't know. I thought it was a good vibe. We didn't really hop around the place though. We did. I don't know. We were driving through and it was just like, oh man, this is a shit show kind of.
Steeler Nation 412 literally just said when you're driving down Southside, it's like a safari.
Yeah.
What did we say? We saw the paddy wagon where they had like the big police van. We saw, was it Fed? Shout out to Fed. Man, we saw him like walking through the crowd. People was going nuts for that. We saw just, it was something else going on too out there, man. It was some stuff going on, man. But that's Southside for you. Oh, the chick like ran in front of the car. That's
that happens.
Dude,
that's
what?
Gonna happen.
We're just driving. She just darts up like, yo, are you for real right now? And not to like get across the street. No, to stop in the middle of the street to talk to somebody that was in the car on the other side of the street. It was nuts. Yeah,
it is crazy.
Yeah.
Our experience was a little just more low key.
Yeah, we
weren't walking like the main drag like that.
Deke wasn't amongst the common folk. Deke was amongst the elite. Deke was chilling where it was carpet and comfy chairs, and they bring you drinks with sparkling, things on top of it. That's where Deke was located. The rest of us, regular folk, we like to, we're gonna be down there where everybody else is at. So our perspective is a little different. Or something. Yeah. I was a little, my ab, I was. Because I had to swing that bat, so I was a little tight,
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. Oh, man. All right. So, with that, though, man, getting back to Vince, his retirement, now I do think that it goes to, once training camp is starting here, man, guys that have to really impress early on, guys that are going to have to start fast to ultimately keep the organization from deciding that. In terms of when we talked about, I want to see Spillane, I want to see Buddy. I think those two guys initially start this thing off in terms of guys who need to have a really good first impression at camp. I think those guys start that conversation, man.
I agree with you. We talked about this topic a little bit yesterday. And the first name that came to mind, actually, I agree with you on Spillane. I think he's the one for multiple reasons. But one of the names that came to mind, and this is more just for himself, I don't know if it's necessarily for the team, but Alex Highsmith.
Absolutely, man.
I feel like he's really got to come in and make a good first impression, because if you're saying it's legit going to be an open competition, we know who Melvin Ingram is.
Exactly.
So if Melvin Ingram comes in and balls out, and in these first couple weeks of camp, it's just like, hey, we're going to roll with Melvin Ingram. And then all of a sudden preseason comes around. It's not like we have to see Melvin Ingram in preseason. Like,
who
the
Melvin
starter
is.
spot could be locked up within the first couple weeks of training camp. So
Absolutely.
I think Alex Highsmith, for his sake, not necessarily the Steelers' sake, because now all of a sudden that outside linebacker position is...
It's a strength now, man.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a strength having Melvin Ingram. But for his sake, I do think he's got to show up big early on in training camp.
No, I love the fact that you brought Alex up, man. Like you said, we talked about him, man. I do think that it's a legitimate open competition. The $4 million says a lot. The money always tells the story in these type of conversations here, man. The $4 million, they want him to have an opportunity. It's legit. And Alex, like I said, if 2020 Melvin shows up, Alex can do that. I 100% believe he'll beat that out. 2019 shows up, that's dicey, but it's a good conversation. It's good that it's going to be like that. But 100%, Alex cannot afford a slow start in training camp. He can't afford bad practices, which I don't think he'll have at all. I mean, knowing Alex, seeing how he works, being able to see him doing the mini camp process, the dude is ready. He's grinding. He's preparing like he's supposed to. And that's the part where I'm like, I know what this is looking like right now. We know what Melvin looks like when it's healthy. We just got to see which one it shows up, and we're going to find that out in the next couple of days as well. But Alex, man, if Alex starts out hot,
at least it makes it more fun.
Absolutely.
Rest of preseason. Now it's a competition. Now Ingram's probably playing preseason.
Exactly. If Alex isn't balling out the way he needs to ball out in training camp, then for a fact, Melvin doesn't have to be out there in training camp because we know who he is. We're going to hit you with it. Just be healthy, get in game shape. You're getting airmailed to week 1. Cool. But if Alex is legit balling out and it's a legit competition, Melvin's not going to be able to just be a practice all-star. He's going to have to actually show up in the games. And that's the part that's going to really make it beneficial for Alex and just us as a whole, because we're going to be able to see him and have a lot more fun with that. But that is ultimately how that thing could play out, man.
Yeah, and the reason I thought of him too, obviously now Spillane with Vince Williams retiring, he's in the mix, but offensive line, any other position that we have, I feel like we're begging dudes. Or we already have everything set up. Like, we want Zach Banner to be the starter. Even though we just brought in this dude, it's like, dude, you're going to have every opportunity. Even if you don't have the best first impression, odds are you're still going to be starting.
Correct.
Because who else? Same with Trey Turner. Now we announced Kendrick Green. It seems like we're leaning that way. Dotson and even left tackle Chooks. Like, we want all those dudes to be starting for us. Like,
Absolutely.
So if they don't have the best camp right off the bat, that's not going to, I think, necessarily kill them, because who else do we have?
Right.
And then same thing at cornerback, I guess. Cam Sutton, seems like we got him locked in at cornerback too. But
even though it was funny, man, I was watching I think it was ESPN. No, it was NFL Live, and they were doing our projected starters. They definitely had Justin Lane as the projected starter opposite Joe Hayden. Yes, I was like, whoa, I wasn't ready. Yeah,
I don't agree with that. But now
I was like, whoa.
We're talking about Antoine Brooks at the nickelback. I feel like we want those guys. It's not like this open competition.
Right.
I can't say that completely, because no, I can. Here's why. Because at the nickel spot, Antoine Brooks fits that mold. Whereas like with James Pierre and Justin Lane, they're more outside.
Correct.
So we're pushing more for Brooks in that nickel spot, because who else do we have, really?
I mean, outside of Trey, yeah.
So that's why I think Alex Highsmith, for his sake, he's really got to step up, because that's probably the most pure open competition that we have.
No, man, you bring up a good point. That's
what I'm thinking.
The most
outside.
pure,
I mean, Spillane, for his sake, because we don't want to bring in another middle linebacker. Yeah. But for the people that we have right now, I think that's the most pure open competition.
I think that is, and I would also say left tackle. I think Chooks and Dan Moore, they're gonna get the legit dance for that. Absolutely. I mean, why not? Chooks is on a rookie deal still. We haven't given him any significant money. And then with Dan, he was the first 4th round pick. So you're right at the final midpoint. We look at 3rd round, 2nd round, 1st round are all early picks. 4th is like that legit middle point of the draft. And then from there, 5, 6, and 7, you're a late round guy. We don't expect anything from you. So as a 4th rounder, he's going to get a legitimate chance, but it's with the expectations that Chooks will beat him out. And that should happen. Chooks should win. But he's going to get an opportunity, though. That's all we're saying. Similar to Buddy. Buddy's going to get an opportunity to get some reps in there to see if he can win it. But we're all expecting from organization, the organization expects Spillane, Devin Bush to be the clear-cut best guys in there. That's just how they look at those slots from the drafts and stuff like that. So for me, man,
for the team, it's got to be Spillane.
Yeah.
We need that. And anyone on the offensive line, but we've said this for how long?
Yeah, it has to be.
Now it's Spillane's big time, because this is going to determine whether we need to bring in an extra middle linebacker. That changes everything.
That changes a ton, man.
And all of a sudden, something we thought had a little bit more depth than what others were thinking on the surface is not the best depth. Yeah. It is, but it's a lot of uncertainty with it, especially injuries, and like with Gilbert and Allen, there's some question marks too.
Very true. Very true, man. So that's whew. But let us know in the chat, man. Who do y'all think needs to have a great first impression in this training camp, man? Needs to start fast, so that way, we can make the right moves going forward. But before we get to the rest of the comments, I did see that Sean Manahan, shout out to you, man. He asked, Moats, why you don't come coach linebackers for us? Or why don't I come coach linebackers for us, for the Steelers? Honestly, man, the biggest thing is this. I just don't want to. I don't want to commit that time away from my family. That was one of the bigger reasons why I retired. As a player, you spend a ton of time on the grind, preparing mentally, physically, just getting everything in order so you could be your best self. And you miss a ton of stuff. You miss a ton of birthdays, first day of school, sporting events, recitals. You miss a ton of that type of stuff. And for me, I was getting tired. I was getting sick of it, man. I just didn't feel, even though I was still very present, for me, it wasn't to the extent that I wanted it to be. And as a coach, it's only going to be a lot worse because those guys spend even more time. So that's the biggest reason why I'm not doing any type of coaching on that. Like I might coach like my daughter's teams, but I'm not going to coach anything collegially or professional, especially while they're that age, man. When they get older, that might be different. But for now, we're going to take all of that knowledge, all of that film work, we're going to put it into this show and we're in all these other shows that we doing. And that's how we going to rock. All right. So don't worry about the team getting coached. Y'all getting coached. So we good. I got y'all.
So you can have better takes whenever you're arguing with your friends, huh?
They going to be like, nah. Moats told me it's a difference because of this right here. And this is what he looked and he said, if it's 3-by-1 and it's a 1st and 10, you cheat to the 3-by-1 side because they can't block this guy on the backside. Y'all are going to know that. Not a lot of people know that. That's coach talk for you, though.
We got Sean Ferguson.
All right, what you got
Talking
for me,
about
man?
Vince. Did Vince have an injury, or was it just time to hang him up? That was one of your scenarios, the injury.
I personally don't think he had an injury. The reason I'm saying that is because I saw him at minicamp. I saw him participate. He looked good. I told you, even when I came, I was like, yo, don't count Vince out. Vince is ready to go. Vince is a dog. Like, and I'm watching. I'm like, yo, he looks good. He's ready. He's good. He's going to be fine. So I just think it was more so just him just saying, man, you know what? I'm ready to leave on my own terms. I don't think it was an injury. I don't think it was him feeling like he couldn't perform at a high level anymore.
Someone's saying Haskins.
Haskins
for him,
needs,
yes. If we're talking about the Steelers,
yes.
it's not the end of the world, but
yeah, but
for
he
him,
definitely needs it. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I think for Steelers, I'm saying Spillane.
Yeah, because if it's Haskins really just needs to prove enough to the organization that you should at least keep me on practice squad.
Yeah,
because we know they're not starting Mason, Haskins, Dobb. They're not starting anybody but Ben at quarterback, right? Barring something catastrophic. So we're not looking at Haskins as a starter. We're looking at him as, is he a guy that is worth investing in to let him develop, to let him buy into this culture? And then when Ben steps away, now give him that legitimate opportunity. That's what we're looking at with Haskins. So I think, man, for him, first impression, showing
just
the maturity, just can you stick? Can you continue to be a sponge and learn? When you're in training camp, when we give you these new calls, because in training camp, the way that the learning progress works is you come in during mini camp, OTAs and mini camp, and we're going to give you the full playbook and we're going to go through the install, right? That's your first time seeing it. So you expect to have a lot of mistakes. You expect to have guys, messing up calls and verbiage and stuff, especially quarterbacks, right? Because it's extra on them. But once you progress through it, you're like, all right, at the beginning of OTAs, the mistakes that you made, you shouldn't be making at the end of minicamp. All right. Now you get to training camp, and now we're going to reset. We're going to give you that same install, but we're going to start it all over. So not only have I given you the install in OTAs, not only did we do another reset of the install for the minicamp portion, but now we're going to do another reset, new install in training camp. So for Haskins, him starting fast shows that not only have I been paying attention at these parts, but I've also learned from my mistakes that I made in those parts and I've corrected them. If he's doing those things, then now the team is going to look and say, all right, he's at least worth being on a practice squad, because Haskins, he'll be able to stash on a practice squad. I promise, like, he can do that. Just because of the controversy about how mature he is and things like that, you can stash him on your practice squad this year, but he's not going to be worth that practice squad spot if you don't feel he gives you a legitimate chance to be a quarterback down the line. I don't think you hold him if it's not going to be that.
Ooh, so you're thinking Haskins practice squad, Dobbs 3, so Dobbs could be helping out Ben in the actual games.
Or even if they don't do that and they just dress 2, because we know the team will dress just 2. Mason be that second guy. I can see it as that scenario also. I just feel like with Haskins, he does have that luxury of being able to be on the practice squad. Like, I do think that they would stash him there and he could just grow and develop without it necessarily having to feel the full weight of being on the active roster. Whereas with Dobbs, I just don't think, if Haskins is who we think he is, I don't think that the team would put Dobbs back there, because it's like, well, what is Dobbs developing into? Because you're not viewing Dobbs as the development into the franchise quarterback, because you already have Haskins supposedly in that role and you have Mason in that role. So that's the part where you can see it, kind of phasing him out. And I don't think that Mason is going to be in that conversation, because Mason he's proven that he can at least play in the NFL, and he's done enough to make it interesting for him. Whereas with Dobbs, he hasn't had that sample size just yet to even, make yourself say that, all right, we'll save a spot for him right here. Like, I just don't see that. Now, he could surprise a lot of people with his growth, and obviously we know what he brings in a Matt Canada style offense, so that makes him a kind of like a one-off, right? Because
the whole slash thing,
right? It makes him a one-off, and that's why I just think like they might look at him as, instead of viewing him as strictly a quarterback, what if they're just viewing him as like a utility guy, kind of like a Ray McLeod? Just don't have him as a returner, but he's your utility offensive guy. All right, we know he can catch, we know he can throw, we know he's fast enough, he can run the zone read. We've seen these things. How, like, maybe Canada's saying we're going to feature him in some role like that, then we can see him out there. But I just don't think, in terms of the pure quarterback race, that he's going to be able to leapfrog one of those guys right now.
How big do you think his relationship with Ben would impact that? Because how we're talking, it seems like it's on Haskins than whether Dobbs makes the roster or not. Because if Haskins balls out, we'll just keep Haskins. We don't have to worry about Dobbs. But if Dobbs' relationship with Ben's that important, and then we're talking about him as a utility guy, maybe that makes him a little bit more valuable.
Yeah. Man. He brings a ton. But Dobbs is one of those players right now that you can see him good at certain things, but not great at anything. We think he's a good passer. He can throw the ball well enough, but he's not a great passer, right? We broke that down with just watching the tape on him. He's fast, but he's not the fastest. He's shifty, but not the shiftiest, right? He's good at a ton of stuff, but not great at anything. And that's the part that is just kind of like that piece of the puzzle. Like, where does he fit?
Dude, what do you think of that Ben relationship then, though?
I do like that, but I don't think it's as significant just because if this is a guy that had played a ton, kind of like the Charlie Batch scenario, right? Where he had already been a starter for, multiple years and has already seen all this stuff, and you can really
started for us and got some wins.
Like it's a different level of comfort and a different level of value that you place on that. Whereas right now, I'm still questioning. I mean, Dobbs knows a ton of ball, but has he seen so much ball where he's really able to help Ben to that level? Like, I think that Dobbs can be on the sideline.
You think it might be blown up a little bit?
Right. Because I feel like Dobbs can sit on the sideline and Ben could go through a play and he says, yo, what coverage was that? And Dobbs says, yo, what's cover 3? Sure, he could do that. But I also think that Haskins could do that. I think that if you talk to Mason could do that. So that's the part where I'm just like, with Charlie could tell him like, yo, Ben, he was like, yo, Ben, this is the coverage they're going to do. I've seen guys do this where they're going to flash here and they're going to build over here. I'm letting you know this is how it's going to happen. Hit this guy coming on the backside. He talked about that on the podcast with us. And you could see it's like, oh, that makes sense. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's what he's doing right there. And Ben and both of those guys would talk about it. And that's why it was such a big deal. With Dobbs, though, I don't think that Dobbs is going to be able to do that. And if he can't, then it's just like, I don't think that it holds the same level of significance.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that was always my thing with Dobbs. Like, that could be one of the main ingredients for keeping him. And then you talk about the utility piece.
Yeah.
But, it'll be interesting if he's even used that way in preseason.
Well, because this is the interesting part. So Darren Dalton says Dobbs is good for subbing out Big Ben for some of those QB option plays. Now, we did see when Matt Kent... No, because think about it, right? Week 17.
I remember.
That's what they were doing. And who was the quote-unquote coordinator for that game?
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm for whatever works. I just think you have better odds with Ben out there. That's always my thing. But if it works, whatever. Like, I don't want to be the party pooper.
That's what they're referring to with that. So I can see that. I just don't know how big of a role that is, though. Are we talking 5 plays, 7 plays? Like, I don't think that Dobbs, because like
he needs to be an asset as a receiver, right, then. But so it's not so obvious.
But they've shown clips. I've had a couple people actually send me clips of Dobbs catching touchdown passes at Tennessee. The thing is this. The impact has to be worth it. Like, you think about when Taysom Hill comes out there with New Orleans, back when Drew Brees was Drew. If you're going to take the ball out of Drew Brees' hands, it better be electric. It better be well worth it. And we talked about, at least with Taysom, you see the productivity that is associated with him, whether he's blocking, whether he's running the ball, throwing the ball, or catching the ball. It's typically something explosive happening in a big way. We just haven't seen that with Dobbs just yet. Not saying that he's not capable of it, but we haven't seen that just yet. So I'm not big on taking it out of Ben's hand to just put Dobbs out there for the sake of running a trick play. If it's significant and if we actually producing and Dobbs shows that he can do more of it, okay, cool. But I don't want to just do that just for the sake of doing it. That's my thing.
Yeah,
man.
We're kind of on the same page with that one then. But we'll see what happens in the preseason. That's why, I mean, we have so many different layers to this preseason. All of a sudden, Highsmith, Ingram competition. What's Dobbs going to do? Haskins, Mason. There's a lot of things we're going to be looking out for.
No, it's
running back too.
It's a legit conversation
Nickel
going
corner.
on. It's a legit conversation in the chat going on about who was the better backup quarterback, or which one would you rather have between Mason Rudolph and Landry Jones?
Mason.
See, now you're saying Mason with confidence. The people in the chat are going Landry with confidence, man.
No.
Now you know I'm
for
biased.
one
I'm biased
game
because Landry done got me out of a stadium. I've seen Landry do his thing.
for one game. Maybe Landry. He is because what he did he do 300 yards against AZ?
I'm just saying.
Or the Chiefs? Who was it?
It was AZ. It was AZ. I've seen Landry get me out of a stadium. That's all, man.
Which game was that?
It was the AZ game. Was it? Was it?
I think AZ was home, right?
Yeah,
was it the Chiefs. Chiefs on the road.
I don't remember. It was one of those, but he's done his thing before. He's produced. That's the thing. Like, let's not act like Landry never came in and did well. He's had his games, man.
I'd definitely take Mason.
No.
Mason's Jets game and Browns game to me was a big deal because if we're talking about Landry and the one
Landry
game,
had the Browns game too.
No,
overtime game.
That's
with
what I'm talking
Juju,
about.
Kobe. Yeah, he balled out.
I don't think Landry could sustain something like that over a full
you gotta
season.
stop that. Well, Mason hasn't either. In fact, his sample size is even smaller.
Not the best, correct.
It's even smaller of a sample size.
Not the best.
He has more negativity on tape than Landry right now. Because Landry hasn't had a full season's worth of bad plays. Well, not saying that Mason had a full season worth, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Landry has only been able to play 2 games here, 1 game here. Maybe even the one time where Landry was supposed to get this back-to-back starts. Remember, that was the game going into the Browns game where he gets hurt the first play, and Ben has to come back. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. I loved it though. I had a blast with it, man.
It was like
I had a blast with that game, man. It was nuts.
After that,
it was
Ben having the most yards for a backup or a person just to come in the game.
It was nuts, bro.
Incredible.
It was nuts.
Yeah, because he lit them up. Dude.
He did. Heck yeah, he did.
That was on.
Was that 16 or 15? Because that was Manziel, right?
I know. Yeah.
That was the game. That was my game.
You had a play on Manziel. Yeah,
that was my game right there. I had a couple. I balled. That was my game. From the start to finish. I was low key mad. The first play on defense, he loses. He's throwing it falls out his hands weird, and I catch. I'm thinking it's an interception, and it was just a fumble recovery. I was mad, but everybody was dope though. It was fun, and I remember we dap up Ben while we come inside. He got the headset on because we you're not going in, you're hurt, and sure enough, 2 plays later, boop.
Yeah, it was a good strategy. Don't put Ben out there if you don't need to. We get this dub against the Browns.
Because we definitely it was we felt good. We was we got this. We're gonna win this one. Yeah. Back with Money Manziel, right?
Manziel threw for 300 that game.
He did.
A lot of garbage.
It was
a lot of garbage.
Such
time.
Garbage, bro.
A lot of garbage time. Yeah,
such garbage. That's back when the O-line was good too. Well, now, I guess it's gotten back good. Excuse me on that, but yeah.
Mason versus Landry. I like that.
I'm
leaning Mason now.
Let me see what this chat is talking about in terms of this Mason and Landry. All right, so Double T says Landry was willing to push the ball downfield, whereas Mason was checking down.
That's what I'm talking
everything.
about. That Browns game with Mason, though.
But that was the only. Game. But that was literally the only 2 we saw it. The only time for a full game was the Browns game. We only saw a play of it in the Jets game because he got hurt.
I actually think Mason could be a guy for us down the line, whereas I never thought that with Landry. I'll put it that way.
I could see. No,
not saying Mason has the highest upside, or we should be believing him in that way. But I think I think he's at least still worth a shot. Whereas I never felt that way about Landry. I was like, if we have him as a starter for a full season or for multiple years, we're screwed.
So you basically saying you like Oklahoma State over Oklahoma? Is that what you're saying? Is that where you're going with this?
No, it don't bother me.
No, it's go Cowboys, not Boomer Sooner. No,
it ain't like that.
All right, I ain't know if it was personal. Tell them how you really feel.
We got 2 OK State players on the squad.
Okay. Tell them how you really feel.
I guess we got Trey Norwood now.
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Do we have anyone else from Oklahoma right now?
Nah, I don't think we do.
Yeah, Landry was Oklahoma.
Yeah,
that's it.
Boomer Sooner, man. Or go Cowboys.
No, that's my thoughts. I'm trying to look up Landry's stats right now. I want to see his game logs. Now,
Trina's still diva. She says she's not a fan of Landry. She says that she hates to say it, but Mason is way better than Landry's not so good booty. So yeah, that's the PG-13 version right there.
I want to check these game logs.
Yeah, you check them out,
because I do remember him having some highs. Like when he came in that Raiders game.
Yeah,
that I don't know if it went to OT or not, but AB had 200 yards. It was a high scoring game. Ben got hurt.
That wasn't the Derek Carr game, was it? No.
Derek Carr had a good game too. It was a shootout
at Heinz Field, right?
Field,
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Because we were nervous. We was like, oh man, because that's back when defense was a little janky. We believed in the bend, don't break model.
Okay,
to the fullest of extent.
Yeah, he had a good game against Cleveland.
Put some respect on my man Landry, man. Come on,
bro. To make them go 0-16.
Put some respect on my man Landry, man. Come on, man. You know how hard it is. You know how much pressure it is to make a team go 0-16, bro. He did that. And he did it with a shell of the roster. He ain't even had the dogs out there.
Okay.
Come on, man.
16.
Come on, man. We got Juju running back touchdowns on kickoffs, man. We was doing everything we had.
Yeah, he played against New England. I forgot
Put some
about
respect
that one
on him.
too.
Yeah.
No, that was
And we should have
terrible.
won that. We should have won that one. Tell me we shouldn't have won that one.
Tell
me we shouldn't have won it.
If Ben was in, yeah.
Tell me we shouldn't have won that game.
Nah.
How many points did we score on offense?
16. They won 27-16.
Dude, but for Landry to put up 16, bro, come on, man. Put some respect on Landry, man. That was against the New England Patriots, man. Come on, bro.
Oh, so
when you gonna learn, man?
He played Cleveland twice at the end of the season.
Landry. Respect Landry.
I'll put it this way. I don't think he was a bad backup.
Okay.
I just think Mason has more upside. There were too many things with Landry, whether he got lucky. Yeah. I just always thought
lucky? Come on.
This dude's way too shaky.
Nah.
Well, I think Mason's a little bit more put together.
Okay.
Back there. And like I said, I wouldn't be opposed to giving him a shot down the line. Whereas Landry, no way.
Man. First off, Juan Ringel, shout out to you, man. We appreciate you. He says, Moats, does Landry Jones have little hands? Not from my perspective, but I got small hands. I mean, I don't know. I know he wears a glove when he throws, but I know Ben wears a glove, and I think Brady does too. So I don't know. They look normal. Yeah. I feel like they're normal. But I will say this though, with Landry, comparing him to Mason, I do think Mason sees the field better than Landry. I think Mason sees the field better. I think Mason is a more polished passer, but I don't think Mason takes the same amount of chances as Landry takes. I think Landry struggles to see the field consistently, but he is more apt to take chances and stretch the field. And that's why you get some of those games where he can get a good amount of yardage because of that. He will do that, but because he doesn't see the field as well, he will hit you in the face with the ball. We've said that. I mean, we that was the big knock on him, even amongst us in practice. It's like, Landry gonna make some throws, but we can trick him with coverage. We can fool him a little bit, and that to me is, I think, what separates Landry versus Mason. So even though I'm biased because those games you're naming, I'm like, I've seen him, man. I remember the emotional roller coaster. I'm rolling with Landry, and Landry is so stoic. Like, think Jay Cutler vibe. Like, that's Landry. Hey, man, I got this Moats. Come on, man. I was just doing my thing. I'm like, dude.
Dude, you just said what?
Yeah, he's like, are you serious? Come on, Arthur, man. Don't worry about this thing, baby. I got his next play right here. Like, yo, you are driving me nuts. But that's Landry, man. Just cool. Yeah, he always cool. Never mad. Never sad. Never shaking and confident. He's just, oh, man, it's all right. I had to give him a little something right there, keep it competitive. But I got this on the next play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you're going Landry?
Yeah,
I'll go Mason.
I'm gonna go Landry because he's got me out of stadiums. I've been there. Whereas with Mason, I've witnessed it, but I haven't got a chance to be there for that roller coaster.
Sure, I get it. Yeah. What
Man,
else we got,
man? Jeez. All right, so I think that was it for that part.
First impressions, right?
Yeah, man. Those are the main guys for our first impressions, man. So now we got to go talk about these ESPN top tight ends list, man. Yeah, you have that, man?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, because we have obviously 2 tight ends. Now, we know with Pat, he's still growing, so we don't expect him to be on this list. But we got to see where Ebron falls, man, in this conversation, man. And I think they have a top 15, guys. I believe it is, right? With the honorable mentions and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's 15. It's either 15 or 14.
Yeah, so we want to see how my man Ebron stacks up against the competition. And let us know, man, in the comments while we're about to start this discussion, man. Where do you feel Eric Ebron, ranks in terms of tight ends in the NFL? Is he a top 15 tight end, top 10? Is he a top 20 tight end?
You want me to type it?
Yeah. You can do that as well, man. But either way, just let us know, where you feel my man Eric Ebron ranks in the NFL amongst the tight ends right now, man. See, I like when you got the chat up as well. It makes it just so easy. We're just flowing.
All right, there we go.
Like, what is this kind of like training camp for us?
What?
I mean, are we in training camp now?
Us?
Yeah, because I feel like we're like gearing up for the season. Are we in training camp? It's like training camp, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting in better form as the season's approaching.
I'm seeing you over here, multiple, browsers open. I'm like, all right, I see
I'm
you
getting
cooking.
there.
I'm flowing over here. I'm like, all right, we got this. The chat is percolating. They doing what they supposed to do. Like, I feel like we're all starting to get into that mode because football time is here, baby.
Dude,
it is here.
Less than 2 weeks away from that Hall of Fame game. It's going to be
nuts,
crazy.
Bro. It is absolutely nuts. I cannot wait,
All we need to see is Haskins out there.
Come on, baby.
Melvin Ingram.
Come
Kendrick
on, baby.
Green.
Come on, baby.
People are going to be going crazy.
It's going to be insane, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane.
All right, ready for this top 10 list?
I am. Let's get it.
Zach Ertz at number 10, Philadelphia Eagles.
Dang, he's low. All right.
Jonnu Smith at number 9, New England Patriots. Former Tennessee Titan.
Right. Yeah, I was. He was with Tennessee.
Evan Ingram at 8, New York Giants. Hunter Henry, number 7, New England Patriots.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert, number 6, Philadelphia Eagles. At number 5, we got T.J. Hawkinson from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Number 4, Mark Andrews, Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, Darren Waller, Las Vegas Raiders. Travis Kelce at number 2, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 1, George Kittle, San Fran 49ers.
Okay. So they went Darren at 3, Kelce at 2, and then Kittle at 1.
Yep.
Okay.
Honorable mentions?
Yeah, what you got in the honorable mentions, man?
We got Gronk.
Okay.
Noah Fant. Mike Gesicki. Austin Hooper.
I like him. Yeah.
Robert Tonyan.
All right. Okay. Read it off one more time. Just 15-1. Go down. Honorable mentions all the way down to number 1. Just quickly one more time so we make sure we got that right.
15-1. Tonyan. Austin Hooper. Mike Gesicki. Noah Fant. Rob Gronkowski. Now we got at number 10. Zach Ertz. Number 9. Jonnu Smith. Number 8. Evan Ingram. Number 7. Hunter Henry. Number 6, Dallas Goedert. Number 5, T.J. Hawkinson. Number 4, Mark Andrews. Number 3, Darren Waller. And then number 2, Travis Kelce. And finally at number 1, George Kittle.
Okay. So before we start, let's see what the people are thinking right now. First off, in terms of where he ranges, and then we'll give what we think he ranges. All right.
Sure, I'm good with that.
All right. So let's see.
I can't even see where I
know, bro. It just went like crazy in the chat, man. All right, but I do see John Doe. He says he feels like Ebron's a top 15 guy. Justin Emilio, man, probably in the top 15 for Eric Ebron as well. Remix says if Ebron could block better, he would be top 10. Yeah. D Boogie says around 17, but if he could fix the drop issues, he thinks in that 12 range. Let's see. Michael Marr, he says top 15, but if he could block, top 10. What you got? You got anything over there? I don't know. Seeing what you.
That's what I'm saying. Rod Dollars, Ebron top 15. The Analyzer, E is top 15 for sure, maybe top 10. Justin Reynolds between 9 and 12. Ebron between 15 and 12 from Steven Rhodes.
Kenneth Beamer says top 10. Trina Still Diva goes with top 15 along with Juan Rangel. He says top 15 also. So I'm feeling like a lot of people are having him in that range as well, man. So this is my issue. Or actually, you go first, man. In terms of like how you view it, bro.
Are we talking about Ebron or
just
Ebron initial impressions?
Just Ebron more importantly, because we're going to, obviously, as the training camp continues to progress, we're going to deep dive into like our top 10 rankings and things like that. But with this one, more so just looking broad perspective, how does Ebron fall into this?
It's tough because there's some pretty good tight ends.
They are.
And they
definitely are,
bring
man.
More to the table than just the receiving game. We've seen some Ebron slip-ups and blocking. We've seen
That's a nice way to put that. Some slip-ups.
We've seen some Ebron slip-ups.
That is so...
Also catching the ball.
Look at my man Deke being politically correct in the building. He's had a couple slip-ups.
Legit, though. And we talked about this. He's still a pretty damn good player.
Bro, he still had, like, was it 560? 560 catching?
Yeah, 560 basically.
56
5
receptions.
touchdowns.
56 receptions, like
15 games.
Dude, he has better numbers than, I want to say, than Jonnu.
Definitely Jonnu. Jonnu's got more touchdowns.
Yeah, but Jonnu has more touchdowns, but he has the better in terms of catches and yardage, though. And that was my thing with him. And I want to say,
some of these dudes were hurt. Like Goddard was hurt.
No, true.
He had a really good yards per game average. Like he was solid when he was in.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry.
But doesn't availability play back into this conversation that we're talking about? If a guy played 3 games or was, not out there as often, like, I don't know.
I think that's the thing. I think Goddard even still had more yards than him. I think he
only
played like 10 or 11 games.
Now, I don't think necessarily top 10, but I do think like with some of these guys up here, man.
It's tough because Hooper's good. Tonyan's good. I'd like to see him do that again. Gesicki's damn good. Like
Gesicki's super good.
I would have put the top 3 in the honorable mentions: Gronkowski, Fant, and Gesicki up in the top 10. Probably.
Now,
I'd take Ertz off.
This is my
I'd take
problem,
Smith
though,
off.
with Gronk. Are we kind of hanging on?
A little bit, but I still think he can do
because
it. We saw in the
Ertz
playoffs.
Off because I just feel like I don't necessarily agree with taking Ertz off. I think Ertz with a better situation. You think about what he dealt with in Philly last year. It was cluster at times, man. Between figuring out the quarterback, between figuring out the O-line, between the
he was hurt too.
And he dealt with injuries. Absolutely. Like, to me, I think that he, if we're giving Gronk that type of benefit of the doubt and saying, well, he showed up in the playoffs, I definitely think that if Zach gets in a better situation, he could do that and probably more because I think that he's healthier as well.
Gronk still had a good season, though.
He did, though. He definitely
did. He had like over 600 yards and 7 touchdowns.
No, he looked good, man. Plus, at times he looked good, but at times he also looked old.
Oh, he did. I thought he looked older earlier in the season, but then really started to come on in the end. Obviously, them bringing in AB helps.
Right.
Just everything was firing on all cylinders. So, that's my point is that when we're talking about Ebron, like even these dudes in the honorable mention, it's tough to just say with a big chest, oh man, I got to put Ebron over these guys because they could block.
And he has that fundamental flaw. I'm glad you said that.
It's not even about the drops because Evan Ingram had 11 drops last year, and some of these dudes, I was looking through their drops. Some of them are in the 4 to 5 range.
Where's he?
No, only 7.
Only 7
on Pro Football Reference. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Wait.
What their gauge is. I thought it was more too.
We'll take it.
I thought it was more too.
I definitely thought it was double digits. Wow.
No, Evan Ingram has double digits though.
They said 7. All
like
right,
Kittle has 5. Like some of these dudes are in the 4 to 5 range.
If they really gonna have him at 7, man. See, this way you got 7.
It's the blocking that kills them for these stats.
Yeah, the blocking is
the
terrible.
rankings. That's what it is. It's not as much
now.
the drops for me. Because Fant, I think, had 5 or 6. Fant, I mean, he's next level talent.
Man. Hold on. They really said he had 7 drops, man.
I swear to God.
Am I forgetting something here?
Yeah, 7 drops. Maybe we're just combining Deontay and Ebrons together.
Is that what it is?
Deontay has a ton. He's like led the league.
Maybe that's what it is.
I
don't know. Maybe that's what it is, bro. Cause I just feel like I feel like I remember a lot more than that. But if it was only just 7, that's good. That means that problem has been fixing itself. So that's good. But the blocking definitely has to improve drastically, man.
Does it just improve though? Like that at this point in his career? I don't think it does. I think we know who Ebron is.
This is how you improve it. Ebron, you don't have to smash a guy's face off. I'm not asking you to do that. Just get in his way. Make him have to run over you. And this is the sense that I'm talking about. You're a big man. How big is Ebron? He's what, 6'4", 6'5", 265?
Deontay 13 drops.
How big is that Ebron though? He's what, 6'5", about 260?
I got it pulled up.
250. He's in that bigger range, right?
I'm saying I'm gonna guess 6'4".
6'4". I'm about to say he's like
6'4",
like a power
253.
forward. Yeah. So 6'4", 253.
He's only 28 still.
I know, that's the thing, like, and super athletic. But when you're that big and that athletic, I'm not asking you to go over there and try to maul a guy's face off. No, you don't have to be George Kittle. No. You don't even have to be Darren Waller. I like Darren Waller. Like, he at least gets in the way. That's what I'm trying to say, though, for Ebron. Position block. Use your body and just make them have to go the long way. If you're on the backside of a block, don't allow the guy to just run right in front of you and you just, don't even, give up a little resistance. Don't look like you like it. That's the problem. Like, sometimes it look like he like getting beat when he's trying to block. We don't want that, man. Just get in the way a little bit. Put him just
He's got a weird fetish.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you knocked me down. Yeah. Like, nah, man. Just get in the way. Like, because as a defender, I can tell you that it's been guys that we've known, man, this dude's not trying to block me. What was the tight end that was there before Ertz in Philly? Oh, my goodness. I'm drawing a blank on this name.
Selleck?
Yeah, Selleck, right? Brent
Really?
Selleck, right? So, with Brent, and because we would always play him in the preseason. And we would know going into, man, Brent's he's not trying to hit like that. He was older by then too. He's not trying to maul nobody. But what Brent was going to do, he was just going to run at you and just fall. He's going to fall just to make you have to go around him. If he was cutting off block, if he's going to try to cut you off on the backside, you know he wasn't strong at that stage. He was just going to get in your way to make you have to go a little bit longer. And that's all we're asking from with Ebron. If he just does that, man, it's going to help him be a way better player and make the running game and everything look better, man. But that's the part you got to get better at, baby.
Yeah, definitely. Because even those dudes in the honorable mentions, like Fant had better, I think he had better receiving stats. Worst case, they're comparable to Ebron. Same with Hooper.
Yeah.
Although his are a little bit worse, but I think he was hurt last year. Tonyan had 11 touchdowns. Like these dudes still have decent receiving stats. Not saying they're as good of a receiving threat just because of how the nature of the Steelers' offense is. Like Ebron's not the number 1 target.
True.
He's like I don't know what he's going to be this year, 4th or 5th maybe. Who knows? Najee Harris all of a sudden in the receiving game.
Najee becomes probably the second or third option from when we're throwing the ball, man.
But let's just say the receiving numbers are comparable with a bunch of these tight ends they have in this top 15, or most of them outside of the top 3 or 4. I mean, the blocking's the big thing. These dudes block, and they're more of an all-around tight end as opposed to Ebron. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, all-around tight ends are key, man. Dude, Darren Waller at 3?
You don't like him at 3?
No. I like him a lot. That's
you want
my
to put
problem.
him you want to put him over Kittle?
I can't.
Because you want to bump up Kelsey to 1, huh?
I'm flirting with it.
Kittle was
Kelsey's
hurt a lot
game.
last year.
I love Kelsey's game, man. I just think that he would, like, for what Kittle brings in terms of the combat catching and how dominant he is as a blocker, I still feel like Kelsey is the elite class of the receiving tight end in terms of how he is a matchup nightmare, like a legit headache. But when I look at Darren, I'm like, man, I done seen Darren cook some safeties. Ooh.
It's a damn shame somehow we didn't sign him. Like, he was
crazy, bro.
Yeah, he was almost out of the league. I don't know how or why. It was
crazy, man.
I can't remember. Did he have some off-field? Like,
I don't remember the storyline like that. But man, watching him, bro. Because I was watching him last night. The game they played against the Chargers, I want to say, and this is the game where he went off. He had like 100 and something yards. 12. He's like 12. It was 15 targets, 12 catches. Like, he balled out. Man, I'm watching. I'm just like, I was frustrated because literally the whole first quarter, Derek Carr took forever to even get him the ball. I'm like, what are you looking at? You have nobody else you're throwing the rock to, man. Get that man the rock. And he's over here blocking people, front side, back side. I'm like, man, this dude could be special in the right situation.
They were talking about him on Hard Knocks. I remember that. He was like this unknown. He's like, man, he's on his last leg in the league. He didn't work out with the Ravens, and then he's with the Raiders. And then that season after Hard Knocks, he balled out for over 1,000 yards, and then he just did it again last season with over 100 receptions too, 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, man.
You're right. He
was straight. Now, Juicebox said it was something like alcohol related as well. Like, they think that was going on with Darren, man, in terms of some of the issues he was dealing with.
Okay.
Yeah, because I knew it. You're right.
It was something with they were like just questioning his commitment. Like, he wasn't showing up right.
Yeah, things weren't adding up, man. Absolutely. You know who else is like that though right now? The cat that was in Tennessee, the O-lineman. It was like the first round draft pick from a year ago for them. He's dealt with some like off-field stuff and
they
like
cut him, right?
Yeah, they did. But he's another player where it's like, if you can get him locked in, he is going to be a steal for somebody. But
he was first round. Darren Waller was 6th round.
That's just nuts, right? It's crazy. But when I think of that, I'm just like, man, those type of dudes, like, you just never know. Legit diamond in the roughs, but it's worked out, man. But I'm a fan of his game. I like his game a lot, man.
So I think we're all in agreement on Ebron then.
Yeah, man.
Borderline top 15. It's just tough to say with real confidence that he's ahead of a bunch of these dudes because of the blocking. Because they're just as good as receiving threats. Yeah, for the most part.
That's what separates them, though. Yeah.
But as just as a receiving threat, Ebron's probably top 10.
It has to be. I mean, because
a receiving threat.
His routes, his combat catches. The thing is, he drops the easy ones. We said that he catches the hard ones, drops the easy ones.
Oh yeah, he made some really good catches last year.
Yeah, he's a matchup nightmare. He reminds me of Juju in terms of how they use him with their route tree. You didn't think about with Juju. Juju's not running crazy routes. You're gonna get him matched up on a smaller guy. You're gonna put that ball where he can go up and be a playmaker. That's the same way they get Ebron the rock. They're like, yo, it's gonna be combat, but we're gonna put it right where you can get it. And he's big. He plays like a basketball player. He looks like a hooper out there, man. So just be more consistent. Just be more consistent, man. And yeah, at least get in the way on running plays. Just a little bit. You don't, like I said, you don't have to block them. Just get in the way. You can't let them know that you like it. That's the biggest thing. Don't let them know that you like it.
What do you think with Freiermuth? Will we use him in different ways? I'm talking about, will we use Ebron in different ways? Will he maybe play some outside type of stuff?
I think Ebron will play a lot more off the ball.
We have so many players on offense right now.
I think we move Ebron a little bit more in terms of like some of the motion stuff, being more of the off-ball tight end. So that way you don't have to worry about the physicality. You can just allow him to be more of the route runner, more of the decoy. Whereas with Pat, I think you use Pat as your point of attack guy. I think Pat is good enough as a receiver that he's going to be able to run routes. So that gives you an advantage as him being at the front side of a formation. But then also, he's a guy that can move around as well. So even if you wanted to try to spice it up and say, you know what, this play we're going to have Ebron on the point and make it appear that we're going to run over here. We'll even start with Pat off the ball in a off-ball tight end kind of look, right? Almost like a wing look. We call it a DT, just in terms of like how these guys are close, but one guy's on, one guy's off. And if we want, we can still run that ball backside because Pat can get back there and make that block. He can go block the backside in. If we want, we can motion Pat over there and still run over there because he's physical enough to be a point of attack guy. So Pat brings so much versatility because of his ability to block. So that, to me, I think, man, it's only a matter of time before he puts it all together. And then we don't have to worry about necessarily, all right, we're going to do certain things to hide one guy's deficiencies. I think it'll just be, man, we running whatever we want to run because Pat out here now. But I think it's going to take time to get to that. But that's kind of how I see it because Pat can catch. Pat can run routes. Pat is very savvy in terms of being able to use his body, and we call it play basketball. Put your butt on the guy, box him out, and now you got this easy catch. He can do all of that, and he's also not just a guy that's going to play dead in the Western. No. He's a willing participant. He's trying to smash you when he run blocks. I've highlighted it in the film session we did on Pat. You can see it, man. He's trying to block you and not just make contact. He's trying to finish you. He's going to lock on you and drive his feet. You love to watch it. As a defender, he would piss me off for a fact because I'll be the guy like, yo, the play is done. Stop blocking me. Like, we're about to fight. You know what I mean? Like, that would be my mindset with a guy like Pat. But I love that because he's a guy that's going to play through the whistle, and that's what you want, especially in run plays. So, yeah, man, it's only a matter of time for Pat, baby.
Oh.
It's only a matter of time for Pat.
I heard Ebron though talking. It's like a little combo thing with them.
You catching it, right?
Yeah, like he's more pumped that man, we're gonna be a great tight end duo. But you're thinking there's gonna be a takeover. There might be a little mutiny or something.
Hey, we're gonna start our next show with 3 guests. We're gonna have me hosting, a co-host, and Deke. Yeah, tag team, 3-way, and that dude gonna be eyeing you up like, nah, I'm finna get you. I'm finna get you. Deke over here like, yeah, man, this all 3 of us, baby. This is love. Yeah. That dude over here, all right. Okay, Deke, I got you, baby. You keep waiting on it. Ebron over here, hey, man, tag team. Okay. Oh, okay.
Dude, this isn't something new you're saying. You
No,
were calling this months ago.
They took him in a second. I said, man, they got a ton of other needs. Tight end wasn't the most pressing. Let's be real about it. It wasn't the most pressing. You take that, man, you're taking him for a reason.
Oh, he wasn't even on our radar,
Exactly.
really. I mean, we talked about it. We're like, this
It
would
was
be
a wish
cool.
list. We said,
It'd
man,
be really
if you got
cool.
it, great. Yeah.
Because we were really high on Pat, too.
Mm-hmm. I was singing the praises, man. Yeah.
Where's Pitts on this list, though? I'm surprised he didn't sneak in honorable mention somehow.
Honestly, he's a wide receiver, man. Leave him alone, man. You got to be at least 250 to be out here in this convo, man. And I think he doesn't meet that. That man's a little guy. He's a wide receiver, man.
Is that all we got for
I think it is
tight end rankings and Ebron?
Yeah, because we just getting little jokes about Ebron and which parts of his body have arrived at camp just yet. But they do agree, though, in terms of Ebron and his one-on-ones in the red zone against cornerbacks. Rod Dollar brought up that point right there. Absolutely. We saw that. I mean, last year, it was the Colts game especially, right, where we would see him being split out on the backside. And I can tell you, as a defender, that's the worst feeling. When you know this is the guy. In terms of Eric Ebron, they putting him out there on the backside. And luckily with the Colts, they adjusted with going with a safety. But sometimes you'll catch that with the linebacker out there. Linebacker, you over here like, dude, I know they're going here with the ball. And you're just thinking, I got to get hands on him, play through the catch point. But if this dude jumps up, he's 6'5", we don't got an answer for that, baby. Yeah, that's a matchup nightmare. Corners get it too because corners, you can't, like, for a bigger guy like me, you can put your hands on him. Corner's too small for Ebron. So that's the other thing. So it's like everybody has issues when you're guarding Eric Ebron. And that's why if he could just be more consistent, it's like, dude, the sky is literally the limit. But with Pat is consistent. Pat does have those same things. I don't think Pat is as explosive of a route runner just yet, but I think he can grow into that. Ebron right now definitely is the better route runner in terms of just the fluidity and just the pace in which he runs his routes. But Pat will get that. Pat will become a lot better with that at the pro level.
Yeah. Someone saying Pat, I saw it. Jason Jacobs, Pat, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Dude, I mean, if that happens though, I feel like
Ebron's 200 yards.
Yeah, something went really wrong with Ebron. Whether it was early on, he wasn't up to par, or he got hurt. I just don't see Pat get. I mean, 600 yards. He's gonna be getting 50, 60 targets.
That's top 10 tight end. He should be on this list next year.
That's a ton of targets he's gonna get from there, man. There's no way because you think Ebron had 50-something targets last year. So yeah,
I think he had more targets. I think he had 90
he had
targets.
50-something catches. Yeah, 90 targets. You're right.
Yeah. And then you just got to consider we got the receiver trio, and James Washington and Najee Harris now.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of mouths to feed. A lot of mouths. But if the O-line can't block, Pat will be the feature. 2-yard routes, man. So he'll be straight. Just quick little dump, man. He'll be all right. So there's a chance. At 600 yards, he can have a lot of yards after contact or yards after catch. But yeah,
he could probably do it.
There's a chance, bro. There's a chance. And Trina's still diva. We apologize. She says, I got to lay off the Gator, because she's a Gator girl. In terms of me getting on Kyle Pitts being a wide receiver and not a tight end. So I apologize. You're right. We'll give him some love. No Gator bait. We'll Gator chomp. All right, there we go.
We got anything else then?
I'm trying to see though.
Pat the next Heath.
He could be. And he
That's
did
from Juan Rangel.
He definitely did. He could be. And he did say in the video that he wants to have that kind of vibe. They say he said we're gonna go smooth.
Yeah.
And the general public, y'all will be able to see that soon. Y'all are gonna get your chance. Y'all gonna get your chance. I low key I forgot until I just see it that way. I was like, oh shoot, I did leave that thing for the upper room only. My bad.
Well, I was.
I promise I didn't mean to. I promise.
Well, I was gonna ask you too because we were gonna clip up the interview separately. Right. I was just waiting for you to release the main thing. I was like, I didn't know if you were waiting for me to get you those vids first.
Totally forgot, bro. It's all good. It happens.
It definitely happens.
I thought of it twice today now. So I had to do a promo for the Christmas in July event that I got going on at Wahlburgers, right? July 31st, right here in the Robinson Mall, right?
Back, huh?
Yeah. As soon as we get back, man. So we're doing at Wahlburgers right at the mall. Be celebrity bartending with my new drink, the Moats float. You know, I got the bartender skills, but also doing the meet and greet book signing for my book, The Moats Theory of Life. So while I was doing the promo for it, it hit me when the guy was talking. He was like something about YouTube, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta make the Pat vid public. I tried to do it from my phone, and you can't do it from the phone just yet. Yeah. So then I totally forgot about it. I come home, not thinking about it. And then you finally said it again right here. Because I had already forgot 2 days ago from even this morning. I was like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do that then. Dang. And then you just said it again because I totally forgot it already. So, yeah, I'm making a note in my phone now.
There's a build up to it, though,
it is. It's getting the people.
People are ready.
Yeah, but we got to release that, man. Yeah. Boom. All right, it's added to my calendar now, ladies and gents, because I keep forgetting, so forgive me on that.
People want to see that Pat info, huh?
Dude, absolutely, man. Pat Shiesty, where we going with Project Pat? There's a ton of names out here, man. There's a ton of names, and we got the answer to it. We got the answer. So, yeah, that's definitely getting released today. I promise.
There's some breaking news on that one.
It is. I'm not going to forget anymore. I promise, guys. I won't forget. I promise. So, yeah. Donald Copeland says, if y'all want to see the vid, y'all got to get jumped in. He puts the fist emoji up. Gang initiation. I will say I did just finish reading a book too, by the way. It was called Monster, and it was about a big LA Crip gang member. And he talks about getting jumped in. So when you just said that right there, I'm like, you know what?
Is that the other thing with the upper room?
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
They don't know.
It's a culture.
You join the upper room, but when we see you at the tailgates, man.
Yeah, man. We stamped over there. You don't just join the upper room. You gotta earn that right, Yeah, it's blood in, blood out, baby. How diehard are you really?
My score for the Deke and Moats podcast gets a 10 out of 10.
Oh, major love, major
Chad
respect.
Schrader.
We appreciate you. And Thomas Riley, in terms of where the softball, where's the video from that softball game? Because Thomas, you're a member. Just pull up. It should be on the page. Celebrity softball game. And the whole video is available to you right now. Once we're done with the episode, then I'll make sure I go through and change the sentence so everybody can see it. Because I've been forgetting to do that. That was on me. But yeah.
Someone's saying 12 out of 10.
12
William
out of 10.
Cecil.
Wow.
Manuel Molina saying he's meeting us out at LA.
Saying
we lighten it up out there.
As in Mars or just in general, it's gonna be like a
I don't
lit
know.
atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm not
you
sure.
gotta clarify that, because LA Cali is different. They're kind of ahead of the game with all that.
Yeah, it definitely
nature
is.
and stuff. Yeah,
I think it's just a positive thing though. What he's saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna be enjoying whatever he wants to do. Wherever we're going with it, we're enjoying it. But Trina Still Diva, I agree with you. She says hit the like button right now because Deke, you said you thought they could get to 200 likes. You said that, and they're sitting at 196 right now. So we're just trying to see if y'all can accomplish what Deke has said. Deke is the Nostradamus when it comes to these type of things with likes and content, man. Deke knows. Deke was the guy to realize the algorithm. He said, look, it's the algorithm. Likes equal more views. More views equal more Steeler fans. All right. It's that simple. He said, we could talk about Manscaped. We could talk about, all this other cool stuff. But more importantly, baby, you got to make sure you mention the likes. And I was like, all right, Deke, we're going to do that. And now it's kind of like.
They're trying to get to 300 now.
Oh, we're going for the 3. Well, we still got time.
Shout out.
All right. We're going to see if we can get to 300 like those Spartan men. I will say this too. Not this episode, but if we get to 300 likes, when we come back from vacation, right? Because I told y'all, right? This is like the last show for the bye week because obviously we're not going to have live shows next week. We'll have content available for y'all next week, but we're going to take a week of just, downtime just to get away. I know I'm taking a little trip, vacay. We've both been grinding.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
But either we both been grinding. So we're like, we're going to give us a little bit of a break before we start up full and keep going. So we won't have live shows next week because of that, but we still will have content available. But if we get this thing up to 300 likes, man, we're going to do a couple big giveaways when we get back. Big time giveaways. Absolutely, man. Stuff that y'all going to be absolutely, pretty much excited about. Jersey. Might be some Manscaped products. Oh, might be some book content. Might be some. You just never know. Like we got a couple things we're gonna be giving out. All right, so we can get this thing to 300 likes. Might have to throw in a couple bonus items in there. That's all I'm saying, baby. But that's for y'all. But we'll see if y'all can unlock that because they did unlock. Remember, they unlocked it last time. Last time they unlocked the promo codes, man. They went crazy.
They went next level.
Yeah. So if y'all can unlock it, we'll do that. But that's at 300 likes. All right, 300 likes. We're gonna have a lot more with our giveaways. So. Just give y'all a little heads up on that, man. They said, Deke, you got to do a solo show next week, man.
I'll probably play some video games or something.
Deke gonna have y'all right, man.
Check me out on what I got going on my YouTube. Yeah. Something like that. Maybe I'll do a little something.
You know what I'm saying? But
I got a good comment, though, I wanted to
what you got, man?
From Darren Dalton. Initiation has to be getting tackled by Moats from 20 yards out. Like a kickoff, I think.
Yo, wow, y'all trying to get me a charge, man. I would kill somebody right now if I hit somebody like that, man.
I think that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, that would hurt somebody. Because, you get some people that always say, I got one good hit left in me, or I got a quarter left in me. I low-key got 3 seasons in me, like, for a fact. So, yeah, I'm saving it all because I got daughters, and I got a son. You know what I mean? Like, the time's gonna come.
You saying for any reckless parents?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, they try to act a little funny with it, or, one of these little teenagers, don't be sliding in my kids' DM. I slide back. That's all I'm saying, baby. All right. So I'm just making sure that I'm saving all those 3 years because I said worst case, it could make me have to take a visit, where I have to go and be away for some time. I'll at least be prepared for that as well.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm good with whatever. But yeah, I'm not going to be giving out those hits just right now, okay? We're not giving out those hits just yet. We saving them. But yeah.
People want to meet Claypool? Yeah, I'm not seeing too much else out here. You ready to move on?
I think so because, that was just our little like part right there. Yeah, man.
We're close to 300 already?
Oh, yeah, we're at 243 right now. I feel like they're definitely going to get this thing open. Right. And shout out to Rod Dollar. Rod Dollar said he actually read that book, Monster, in middle school. Really good book, man. Really good read. Yeah, my wife had got it for me for Father's Day. It's a dope book, man. Really, really good. I just finished it last night, though, man. So it's made me bring it up. But, yeah, I think that is it for that portion. Let's see. You seeing anything else?
Nah, not too much else.
Okay. I just saw the comment from South Florida Steel.
What is that?
Moats doing a 3 to 5 stint for murdering a kid, taking his daughter out. I'm telling you, I gotta save these years. I don't know. I might have some hard times coming up. All right, my daughter's is getting in that age. You know what I mean? Like these kids over here, man, wanting to FaceTime. I'm like, yo, easy, big fella, easy. All right. And they hit you with the, yo, you Moats, man, this is cool. I'm like, oh, you're not in the cool category right now, my friend. I'm not sorry. Cool with you. I'm sorry. Like, it gets awkward, And that's the weird part, man, because, yeah, we had a couple of, and it's not like bad kids are like that, but all hype. Like, yo,
they're cool with you. You're not cool with them.
Exactly. Like, yo, man, that's Moats right there. Like, yo, it's a vibe. Like, yo. And they be like, yo, dad's cool. She's like, yo, dad. And I'm like, nah, bro. Nah. It's not my man's. You're not my homie. Yeah, man, that's how it's been going right now. So, y'all pray for me, man. Y'all work with me, all right? If the show just stops for any reason going forward, y'all know what happened. Somebody shot his daughter to DM. Somebody was shot on FaceTime, and Moats was like, all right. He answered. So, yeah, y'all just lay low for me, all right? Oh, we got Deke. Somebody in here for Deke. Oh,
we got Call McKay in the super chat. Is that what you're saying?
I see it. Is the shoe?
Yeah. So he tunes into my Twitch. We played a couple times against each other. He says he's the unofficial Twitch mod, which is like a moderator. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know too much about Twitch. Is like its own thing in terms of like moderations. They have like Bitcoins and a bunch of other shit that I still have no clue how to operate. So I told him, I said, once I get a mod, whenever I announce this, like he'd be probably my moderator because he's been tuning in. He's been helping with a bunch of stuff with Twitch. But he says he's Deke's unofficial Twitch mod, and he says, LOL, when is the next stream? Young Ron Jeremy. I don't do any of that shit on my Twitch streams, dude.
You ain't giving him that? No?
I don't do that stuff, but so I guess he's saying that as a compliment, though. that I get chicks, maybe. I hope that's what he means by that.
Maybe that's
we don't go that far on the Twitch streams. We're just playing Madden and stuff.
Yeah, it's so far so good. We not there just yet.
I'm not doing Ron Jeremy stuff on the Twitch stream.
That's funny, man. Hey, and Kenneth Beamer, he says y'all should start taking calls from the fans. Actually, that is something that we'll be a part of when we do our big rollout. So when we take this next week off, man, we're gonna obviously be doing some behind the scenes stuff, getting everything squared away. But as we flirted with before,
because I got the stash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Not like the active part, but the look part.
I get what he's saying.
Yeah. But I'm
an idiot. Sorry.
It happens.
I missed the joke.
It happens. It happens, bro. But in terms of fan phone calls, in terms of calling into the show, we are actually going to bring that element back. All right. So you remember we did any of the original people that was here when we first started the podcast, grassroots, no YouTube part of it. We did have an element where you could call in the day before. All right. We would typically do it like right after the game, call in, air out your grievances, what we would say, right? Get it off your chest. And then from there, we would obviously play some of those calls during the show. That is something that we are going to be looking to bring back. All right. So when we do the big announcements and rollouts coming up, that will be a part of it. All right. So we haven't forgot you. We got you. All right. It won't be live during the shows, but we'll make sure that, we'll have it set up where y'all can call in, drop whatever voicemail y'all want, and we'll be able to feature that out there. Absolutely, man. That's what we in here for, man. Listen, the show is ever evolving and ever growing, baby. If all we do is stay here, we not going to get better. Y'all not going to want to stay tuning in. Y'all going to bounce. All right. So we got to keep going. Coach Tomlin would say that every day, man. He's like, hey, man, above the line, you want to be varsity every day. My college coach, J.C. Price, man, he would also tell me, you either get better or you get worse. Nothing stays the same, though, man. So that's how we take that same energy with this show, and we're going to make sure we keep sending that thing going. Click, 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 click. So, yeah, baby, we got more heat for you, baby. And Mad513 says y'all only need 47 more likes to unlock a couple more of those gifts, man, those giveaways. Because like I said, man, it's giveaway season, baby. When we do the rollout, it's big time giveaways. That's all I'm saying, man. Signed content, jerseys, it's going to be worth your while. I'm just throwing it out there. But you got to get to the 300. Get to the 300, man. Y'all can do that. And shout out to Earthchild04. He says he's checking in from Kansas City, Missouri. But he says hashtag still a gang. Now, we appreciate that, baby. Yes, we do.
We got Kenneth Beamer saying, I remember the first episode.
Oh.
Here's a question, though. Here's how we know for sure.
Okay.
On YouTube.
Are we asking the first YouTube episode?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because our first episode was different.
We had a couple before going on YouTube where we would just record an actual podcast,
right.
Just audio. But YouTube, tell us what the setting was.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that's a good way to know.
That's definitely a good one. Yeah, what was the setting for the podcast?
If you were on the first one,
yeah,
it's actually for the first couple.
Yeah, seriously.
Don't look it up right now.
It was a unique setup. It was very different than our setup has been. Yeah.
So let us know. Let us know.
All right, so you check that out, and I'm going to read off a cut because we got some new Upper Room members as well.
Yep.
Carmichael, Steelers fan. Shout out to you, baby. And welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. The Analyzer. Man, finally, the Analyzer's been rocking with us for a while now. You finally joined, man. Welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. And like we said, man, as an Upper Room member, what does it get you, man? It gets you definitely priority access in the chat, man. Anytime we see those color names come up, not even from a super chat standpoint, but just the color names, those do get priority in terms of us reading off those comments, along with early access to some of those exclusive videos, whether it's the celebrity softball video, some of the film sessions that we do, and that, you know, will continue to happen, and even more of this behind the scenes content that we're going to be cooking up, man, as the season progresses, man. That is what gets unlocked inside the Upper Room. So, man, just keep rocking with us, baby. We're going to always rock with you, baby. Yes, indeed.
So we got some comments.
All right,
Donald Copeland, parking lot.
Oh.
Now, that was with the Stephon Tuitt
That
interview.
was.
That was
That
early
was.
on. That was early enough.
Yeah,
we got
that's-
Manuel Molina. It was
yeah.
a backyard kind of setup.
Okay, they hip. Yeah, they hip.
I'm not. That might be it.
Those are the two main, like,
That was kind of it.
yeah.
And then someone was saying the old setup was small Deke energy compared to nowadays.
Well, that's a nice broad way to put that there. Yeah.
The outdoor setup wasn't bad. I didn't think.
I vibe with it. Remember the funny thing was, like, how we say it
Dude,
get
it would
hot
be
sometimes,
so
bro.
hot, man.
Yeah.
It would be so
Because
hot
it
at
was
some
around
points.
this time, like July, where we would be recording, and dude, you just sitting out there, and it's like beautiful scene. I mean, visually look great, but us record, I mean, it was times we're just like dripping. I'm just like, I know me, I'm like, yo, I'm baking out here, man. So yeah, that was that, man. But dude, shout out to the big OG and the Tuitt interview in the park, bro.
Yeah,
You remember how we did that? So behind the scenes, before we go to the next topic, that was our first year really doing it too, man.
yeah.
But for me, man, I had just finished up my radio show with the Steelers, and we couldn't make it back to meet with Tuitt in time, and we literally pulled up in the parking lot. We did it in the parking lot of the radio station, man.
Yeah.
Just right out there, set up. It was crazy, but it was a dope interview, man. And Tuitt was balling too, man. God, that was fun.
We did the same thing with the bus, but that was in person.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
finishing up his TV
Yeah,
segments,
we pulled
wherever
up
it
on
was,
him.
and we did the same thing. We just brought chairs, we brought our tripods and stuff, iPhones,
Yeah.
and we just recorded literally in the parking lot with the
Like
bus, just sitting down.
we literally trap whatever. We're gonna make it hat wherever, man. That's what we do. But in terms of and I saw Thomas said, let's take the show outdoors. That is something that we're actually looking to do more of. Now it's changed a lot, just because initially when we first started doing it, we were never live. So it was a lot easier, a lot more flexible to go out on location, because all you're doing is just recording content, and then from there we edit it, upload it, and boom, we're good. But since now we do a lot more live content, which we like to do because it gives the chance to have that interaction in the moment. Well, now you got to start worrying about internet setups and making sure that, you know, that part is good, battery power, because like you said, when you stream, it takes a little bit more than just recording. So those are some of the things that we're just looking into, but that's definitely something that we want to get back doing, because man, what's better than, you know, chatting with you in a chat than chatting with you actually in person? You know, y'all actually sitting across from us, we can hear y'all giving us the feedback and stuff like that, man. That's something that we definitely want to get into right there, man. So yeah.
Look at this idea. I got to bring this up.
Uh-oh.
This one's hilarious.
Here we go.
This is from Darren Dalton. He's on fire today. Would love to see an episode of y'all putting the worst Steelers team together with Steelers players throughout history.
That would be funny. That would be funny. Who's your quarterback?
Probably a dude that probably a dude that wasn't around for me, because some of those dudes in the 80s were probably worse than. Who's our worst quarterback? I don't know, Dennis Dixon, but he wasn't like that bad. He got us a winner too.
And you know, Dennis, I forever have a soft spot for him. He got me into my my obsession. All these shoes, man.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Dixon wasn't that bad, because I'm thinking backups.
So-
Like, I
so-
wouldn't say Landry Jones.
No, so call me K said Landry, but South Florida still says Kent Graham.
Someone's saying Bubby Brister.
Yeah, I'm seeing Bubby. I'm seeing Landry again. Lyman Sweet at wide receiver.
Oh yeah. Wide receiver one easily.
And Extra Bliss. Shout out to Extra Bliss. He's crying emojis right here because we've taken him through this trauma.
Lima Swede, wide receiver
Mark
one,
Malone.
wide receiver two, Dante Moncrief.
Oh, you go Moncrief?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the receiving core right
Moncrief
there.
was say I didn't know if you would go Sammy. I was interested to hear that.
He's probably receiver 3. Maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna say because I know a lot of people gonna go Sammy Coates as well, man. Jeez.
Yeah, that's probably the receiving core.
Is this Mike Tomczak? I don't even know who Mike Tomczak is, or David Woodley.
Yeah, I'm telling you, those like 80s, 90s quarterback. Yeah, it's probably one of those.
It was rough like that.
It's probably one of those.
Oh, they said Mike Mitch at safety. Now, come on, man. Listen. Yeah, no Mike Mitch slander is allowed. All right. No Mike Mitch slander is allowed. He is by far not the worst safety that has played here in Pittsburgh and has started here in Pittsburgh. I'm just throwing that out there. We're not putting that on Mike Mitch. No. Heck no. We're not doing that one. Not Mike. No.
Richard Stone he's off on this one. He's saying Antoine Randall at quarterback.
Artie Burns at corner.
Ooh.
Yo.
Randall at cornerback is actually a benefit. Anyone that's played NFL Street knows what I'm talking about.
He can get it in.
Yeah, he would not make the worst team.
And now they got Jarvis Jones at outside linebacker.
I see where they're coming from.
I don't like it, but I can understand it.
The tough part about this is with Jarvis Jones, he actually played. I mean, there's probably someone on the roster.
Yeah.
Like, who was probably the practice squad dude, Fringe. Like, technically, he's worse than Jones.
But it's somebody that, like, actually played. That's where, like,
they
guys that played. So, like, they brought up Shamarko Thomas, example. Like, yeah. Like, you had to have actually played. So that's an interesting conversation. I don't like the conversation because I don't like when we highlight the bad, but it is slightly funny, though, when we're just thinking of, like, all right, well, would you rather have had this guy out there or is this guy out there? You're like, oh, sheesh.
You're trying to lose again.
If we're going for a 0-16 season, what is the roster that we're formulating?
Someone said Byron Leftwich. I don't think Leftwich should be on there.
Leftwich straight. Especially, I mean, Jacksonville B. Leftwich nice. Antoine Blake. Oh, y'all got it. Why y'all naming all my teammates? Josh Scobie at kicker. I do it. I can agree with that.
We've
had
some good kickers, but he's in there.
Oh man, Dree Archer. Oh.
Wow, I don't know. Man. He didn't play as much. He didn't play ever.
He played his rookie year. Dree was the guy. He was super fast, but didn't want to play that fast.
Marshak. Someone says Cassius.
Oh, yo. Fitzgerald Toussaint. Yo.
Oh, yeah. He's running back 1.
They said Dwayne. They said Dwyer. They said Jonathan Dwyer is running back 1.
No. He wasn't good. He didn't live up to what we thought he could be. But he at least had like 600 yards. No, Fitzgerald Toussaint literally cost the playoff game.
Yo, they said Mike Adams at tackle was a turnstile. Y'all got to stop this. Like, what? This is wild.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a center. Who's the center
don't know.
I'm thinking of? Sean Mahan, maybe?
I'm trying to think.
For the Super Bowl
what
run.
centers could we you had Legursky, right? Doug Legursky.
I think Mahan was worse.
Okay, because I like Doug. Doug was an overachiever.
Hank Poteet.
Dwayne Toast Washington. I don't even know what this is.
Redmond at running back 1? No, I think it's Toussaint.
Redmond was good.
I think it's Toussaint.
Now, was Mike Adams really that bad? Because I saw Jason just said Mike Adams was terrible. I don't remember Mike like that. Like,
I honestly don't remember.
By the time I got here, he wasn't playing like that. Yeah.
When did we draft him? I was in high school. 13. That wasn't something I was paying attention too much to.
I want to say he was Jarvis' draft. Yeah, because Jarvis was 1 and Mike might have been 2.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was around that time.
I'll be honest. I wasn't paying too much attention to Mike Adams.
It's all good, man. Isaac Redmond, though. Was it Redmond like that?
No, it's Toussaint. I'm telling you, Redmond.
Yeah, I don't remember him like that. But Fitz did have some good games, man. I remember Fitz, man. Fitz balled on us a couple times.
The Redmond and
He's
Dwyer
had a
years.
Terrible moment.
The Redmond and Dwyer years were definitely lean years for Steelers running backs.
Yeah,
but they didn't kill us because we were flipping between them two, and neither of them were just running back 1. Mm-hmm. So it was disappointing from that standpoint. No, Toussaint cost us a playoff game.
Time out, bro. Time out.
I don't think there's an argument with that one.
I agree with what you're saying, but Darren just killed me. What? Darren says, if you need someone to rely on a big time, high stakes fumble, call up your boy Rashad Mendenhall.
That's a tough one.
Y'all are wildin'. Is that really the perception with Mendenhall? He's a big game fumbler.
You know how I feel. I think he was really good for us. But yeah, I mean, that's probably going to live with him forever, unfortunately.
No.
He was good. Jeez. No, he was good. He was definitely good.
Oh, man. Oh, Ross Cockrell. Now, Ross had moments, but Ross was definitely
I wouldn't
better.
Put Ross on this. I
don't think Ross is in there,
I thought
man.
He stepped up when we needed him to, actually.
Yeah, I think he's in there, man. I think, Ross is fine.
I don't think he's on the squad.
And they're saying Chicolo. I'm not putting Chicolo in there either, man. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop this, man. Chick has some moments.
You know, they're bringing up the former Steeler.
Who we got, man?
Recent former Steeler.
Who we got, man?
James Conner.
Oh,
I can't put him in
I'm
there.
not putting James in
He's
there,
not
man.
worse than
James got a Pro Bowl. He has a Pro Bowl too.
Yeah, he's not worse than Redmond or Dwyer. That
We
they're
can't.
bringing
Yeah,
up.
but say it. No James slander either. We like him, man. Come on, baby. Nah.
People are liking this conversation.
It's
They're bringing up names. Chris Rainey now.
They got me putting me at center. You're right. I'm not a
Big
center.
Al.
Oh, yo, wow. No, Big Al is straight. Big Al played to a second contract here, man.
I agree. I think they're just taking shots at him because he's a Ravens now.
Dude, he is a Raven now, so you know what? Yeah, he's terrible. We don't like Raven. Ravens don't get any love on this channel. All right.
Eli Rogers, no. I wouldn't put him
Eli
on the
was
team.
straight, yeah. Isaiah Pete. Well, Isaiah didn't get a chance to play like that though.
I don't even remember. He was a running back, right?
Yeah. He actually, he lost his leg, man, in a crazy car accident, man. It was nuts. Yeah, but he never played like that for us. Ike Taylor's hands. Yo. His hands are undefeated. Yes. Yes.
Max Starks, no.
No. Big Max is straight. Yeah.
Come on.
And then Tim Worley. I'm not even sure who he is off the top of my head.
I think Colby Hamilton, someone bringing up.
See, he falls
He might be
into
receiver 3. Might be receiver 3, receiver 4.
I think you put Sammy. You're probably going to have Sammy because Sammy has more bad plays out there, whereas Kobe just doesn't have a ton of like productivity out there, and he just
There's got to be a receiver from the '90s that fits like the Limas Weed mold.
Right.
Someone's got to bring that up.
Who's the '90s version of Limas Swede? That's the question we're looking for.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, we already got receiver 1 and 2 for sure.
Dang, they really said this dude Mike is the worst cornerback in the history of the Steelers. I don't know who this guy is. I feel so bad about that. Like, maybe that's probably why I don't know who he is. I don't know. This is crazy.
Oh, Ladarius Green at tight end. No.
Now we talked about that though.
No,
we talked about it because of just the sign in, everything, expectations, the money. I'm just Ryan Switz as a return man, not as anything else. But Ryan's a good dude, man. We always think about Ryan. Man. He's a good dude. Not Ernie Mills. Come on, man. Thaddeus Gibson. Wasn't he a 5th round pick here?
Troy Edwards. I swear he had a good season. I don't know much about him, but I swear he was pretty promising. Limas, dude.
They said he was worse than Limas, though.
There's no way.
They said he was worse than Limas.
Dude,
Put on the stats. What are his numbers,
man? He
man?
had 714 yards for the Steelers his rookie year. Then he fell off, though. Bad taste.
Okay.
215, 283
Ugh.
in 2001, and that was in 14 and 16 games.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it was. He flashed some potential.
Yeah, that's what John
And
Doe
let him
just
down.
said. John Doe just said Trey Edwards flamed out. Jeez. Yeah, that was a crazy thing right there, man. Yo, Sutton Smith, that's another one, the outside linebacker. I forgot about him. Did he ever play, though?
What the hell?
I don't think he
Did
ever
we
got into
draft
the
him
game.
like 2 years ago?
Yeah, but I don't think he ever got in, though.
No, yeah. I don't think he'd make the list.
And they said Neil O'Donnell Super Bowl 30. Neil O'Donnell.
That's that Rashad
That's the
Mendenhall thing.
one.
Because
Yeah.
O'Donnell, I think, actually made a Pro Bowl for the Steelers.
Yeah. Hey, Barilla92, thank you for this, man. He says, put some respect on Ike Swaggin Taylor Rooney's name with the emoji. Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
my
Ike
dog
was good.
IT, man. He couldn't catch, but we all knew that, and we loved him because he knew that he couldn't catch. As long as you tell us what you are, we're cool with that. We don't have an issue. We're open to
He was
everything.
pretty locked down.
He let us know from the day I got here. Moats, what's up, baby? I said, what's up, baby? Big fan, man. Do your thing. All right, bet. Hey, look, man, I can't catch. Oh, for real? All right, cool. Don't worry about it. Well, look, I'm not fast like you. All right, cool. We're going to get along just fine then. And it was great. But my man can't catch. We won't even complain. I tell you how many times we seen him, the ball hit him square in the hands. I'm like, bro, are you fighting the ball or is the ball attacking you? Like, what is going on? Why do you do all this stuff? Like, I thought he was a pitching coach or a third base coach. Like, that's what he looked like, you know? He's like, yo, just look the ball in, Ike. Just solve, Ike. Even catch it with your body. Ike, trap the ball. Couldn't get it. I can't make it. Couldn't get it, bro. Oh, now they brought up Sinquez Golson. What about him?
I don't think he played enough.
Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't live up to the hype,
he was an
obviously.
early pick, yeah.
I don't think he played enough.
And LeGarrette Blunt, he's not on that list. Now, in terms of his, off the field, in terms of that, yeah. But in terms of him on the field, he wasn't on there, man. But yes, South Florida still, Ike was allergic to the football. He couldn't catch that thing to save his life. He couldn't.
No one's bringing up Chad Scott. He was a little bit before my time, but
why does that name sound familiar?
he was a first-round pick, but I don't think he really ended up being like
what position?
What he was supposed to be. Cornerback.
Huh, okay.
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know if he was still good enough to where you wouldn't put him on this list.
And I keep seeing Mike Mitch and Shamarko Thomas as the safeties for this team of 0-16.
No, it looks like Chad Scott was actually pretty decent.
Okay.
He had a couple years of like 5 picks and stuff. I must have caught, dude. His like 02, 03, 04 is whenever I started playing like Madden and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where he started falling off. So that's why I was wondering. He actually had some good years before that.
Shout out to William Cecil. William Cecil says that Dante Moncrief and Ike Taylor's hands were made of the same thing. Dude, y'all wow.
Wait, I can't see it.
It might have just updated.
Is there more to that comment?
Yeah. No, that was it. It was it. I think that's what he left it at. That was like, dang, going. And then they said Trey Essex. They said he played every O-line spot, but wasn't very good at any of them equally.
If he was, I mean, he might have been part of that. I think he was part of that worst O-line that I was talking about, like in that 08 year, that 08 like kind of range even. See, I don't remember that much.
Yeah,
I'm just telling
that,
you,
man.
like, I'm growing up. I'm watching the games. I know so much more about
Copeland
the skill
even said
position
that
players.
Trey Essex was the thumbs. I don't remember Trey. I don't remember because I'm with you. I didn't watch him like that.
It was
man.
just like the offensive line was real shitty in
Gotcha.
like the 07 to like 2010, 11. Like it was just bad. So whoever was a part of that line, you could probably just name them.
Now the last name we'll bring up before we switch out of this conversation, Ziggy Hood, because they brought him up. Now I just saw him pop up.
He was a disappointment.
Now why though?
I thought he'd be better. That's about it.
Got you. Because it was a first round pick too, right?
Yeah, we didn't end up keeping him around either.
Mm-mm.
He was just a disappointment. I can't remember who we took him instead of. I think there were some good players on, like, some good middle linebackers at that time.
But Ziggy still played a good amount of time, good amount of years in the league though. He got what 5, 6, right? At least.
It looks like 10.
Yeah, but so he played. He had years in. Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks like 10. Just a disappointment, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what role he was supposed to be playing.
That's why I keep seeing disappointment. I think Call Me K even said that.
I don't know if I
it was
put
just
him
more
on
of a
this.
disappointment than anything.
Yeah.
But they said Barilla says that he played out of position. He was a 4-3 guy, and we tried to make him a 3-4 player. So yeah,
that might have been it.
That might, yeah, because back then that's when we were running a hard 3-4-2 under Dick LeBeau. That was the year obviously before I got over here. So yeah, that definitely could be it. And then Kenneth Beamer just reminded everybody to hit that like button. They're sitting at 275 right now, 276. So 25 more likes, man. The giveaways will be unlocked, baby. They will be unlocked. So just keep going, baby. Keep it going. But either way, like I said, it's already going to be giveaways. We're going to have even more. Not this show, but when we get back, we're going to have big time announcements, big time rollouts, a ton of new content, a ton of new announcements. All right. So this is our final show before our little bye week. We got a little bye week coming up next week. We'll have content available. But when we get back, big time news, big time rollouts. It's going to be exciting time, baby. Exciting time. But we said we're going to add to the giveaway list if we can get those likes at 300. We're sitting at
definitely.
284. It's going to happen, man. I believe in y'all. I definitely do, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And, man, it was somebody I just saw that checked in. Oh, Stairway to 7. Stairway to 7 says, shout out to the best podcast on earth. Big Deke Energy. Checking in from Harrisonburg, VA. That's where JMU is. Says, Moats, go Dukes with the purple and gold hearts, man. Shout out to Stairway to 7. You already know JMU to the death. Let's get it. Like it, man. All right, so you ready to go to this last topic, man, before we get up out of here, bro?
Sure.
All righty. So now we got to talk a little bit baseball, man. We had another Pirate get signed, man, in terms of Bubba Chandler, man, the Pirates' 3rd round pick. And I had an interesting question I want to have for the chat in this one, right? Because obviously with Bubba, it was unique because he was a 2-sport athlete coming out of high school. He had committed to play at the University of Clemson, to play football there under Dabo Swinney, right? We know Clemson's a powerhouse. Now, with Bubba, he was a 3-star recruit, and he just signed with the Pirates for about $2 million more than his slotted draft spot. He signed for $3 million compared to the $800,000 that he should have been slotted to sign in. But when I saw that, I got me wondering. I was like, man, would I turn down a chance to play at Clemson and potentially play quarterback at Clemson to come play for the Pirates? And I want to know from the chat, would y'all do that? Would y'all turn down a chance to play quarterback at Clemson to sign to play baseball for the Pirates? Now granted, it's a lot more nuanced, but that was just my instant thought, because I'm like, dude, that's different. Because you play at Clemson, I mean, Trevor Lawrence just left. It's wide open. You got a chance. Now, granted, it could have been not the best chance. He was a 3-star recruit, and obviously his last season was cut down a little bit, but man, I don't know about that one, baby.
Yeah, you'd have a chance.
Yeah.
I think that's why the Pirates paid him $3 million. It's a little bit more incentive
They
to
do.
stick with the baseball.
They really
path.
paid that man $2 million more. It's crazy.
Yeah, as opposed to going the college football route. That's tough because
we saw Kyler do it, but Kyler did it as a number 1 pick in both sports. I mean, number 1 overall pick in football. He was the 9th overall pick in baseball, right? So we saw that. But I'm just like, with Bubba, I'm like, oh, man, you don't know.
he could do the Brandon Wheaton stuff, though.
He could, though. He
if
does
it
have that
work
option.
out with baseball. So take the $3 million right now.
Yeah.
And then, 3-4 years in, it's not working out. Go back and sling the rock for. It doesn't have to be Clemson. He could probably get a scholarship at. Honestly, maybe Pitt would take him. I don't know. But like a more mid-tier school that's a D1, and then you put up gaudy stats. Maybe you could end up being a pick in the NFL then at some point.
I mean, because Whedon didn't. He was 28 years old.
I don't even know
when he
how
came
this
back to the NFL,
here's my
right?
thing, though. I don't even know how this is possible.
What you mean in terms of how the money works with the draft?
No, it's just funny because he'll be like a grown ass man at like 24, 25.
And he'll be able to come back with as a freshman eligibility.
That's just crazy to me.
It's nuts, bro.
Should that be possible?
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, because you might be a late bloomer. Say you failed a lot of times when you were in kindergarten or grade school. You can't tell a person, oh, they're 25 right now. They can't come in here to this university. It goes with it. It's part of the territory. As long as he hasn't taken any snaps collegiately, you can get away with that, man.
Okay, because I guess these type of scenarios, because have we even seen one since Wheaton? They're kind of outliers then.
Yeah, because Whedon
I think it would be crazy if this is such a common
Chris
thing.
Winkie did it as well.
Right.
So those probably were the most two prominent guys.
Heisman,
yeah,
right?
Chris Winkie was good. I mean, I was a big Florida State fan. Like, I remember watching him. He was lighting it up, man.
I think he made the right decision taking the $3 million because at Clemson, he was a 3-star recruit.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his mistake, actually, is picking Clemson. If you're a 3-star recruit.
Should have gone to Pitt.
Honestly, yeah.
Come to JMU, man. You might get see the Phil, a 3-star recruit at JMU. You might see the Phil. What? I'm serious. We get 3 stars. We get 3s.
Yeah, maybe he would have been.
3s are definitely in range. We might flirt with a 4. We flirt with low end 4s.
Really?
Yeah, we get a couple low end, and we also get a ton of transfers. We get a ton of a ton of Ohio State transfers, Virginia Tech transfers. Obviously, Pitt, Ben DiNucci. We get a ton of those type of guys. So that's ultimately how we get 3 and 4-star recruits.
Okay.
But it's kind of like going through the back channels of it. You got what you buy the car as on the lot, and then you got the aftermarket. We get an aftermarket. Fine. That's cool.
Yeah, completely fine. I think he made the right call here.
So we're going to see. Let's go into chat and see how the people feel about my man Bubba deciding to join the Pirates instead of going to play at the University of Clemson. But before we do that, shout out to Richard Stone. He officially joined the Upper Room. So
shout out.
Gotta welcome you to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thomas Griffin starts it off by saying, hell no! He made the wrong decision going to the Pirates, man. He said he should have went to Clemson, stayed there.
I'm looking at their depth chart right now. They got a sophomore as the starter, then they got a redshirt sophomore, and then a freshman.
Oh, he was in the mix. John Doe says, absolutely not. Can't do it. Let's go. But now Donald Copeland says baseball is where the money is at, and I do agree with that.
If
fully
you get to
guaranteed
the top,
contracts. You can be good in baseball and you'll get paid like a great football player. You could be good in football and the money, is going to be paid like a absolute terrible baseball player, So that's the difference right now with that, man. So you do got that point in terms of better money being
I do
there.
Wonder
Remix
what he could have made
no.
on the NIL shit with Clemson.
Exactly, right? As a quarterback, you're looking at, was it Mikey Williams? He's a junior hooper right now, right? He just signed his NLI deal where it's going to be, they said the deal should be worth about $1 million. And this kid is 17 years old. He's not even committed to anywhere just yet. Now, he's a dope player he has flaws as well. But with Bub, I'm like, Bubba, you already going to be at Clemson. That's already you got a natural audience, fan base, everything right there for you, and you play quarterback. Whew, man,
just no guarantees for that starting spot.
Yeah,
that's
that
the one
is
thing.
The problem.
And all of a sudden next year, Clemson signs not just a 3-star recruit, a 5-star recruit. A top 10 dude. Now your chances of starting lessen a little bit more.
Yeah.
And he's gonna definitely probably have to wait in the wings for the next 2 years. All of a sudden, who knows what the recruiting classes are coming in.
Now, Earthchild04 says he'd rather play for the Pirates than go to Clemson. He'd rather take that money. Now, I'm interested to hear why, though, Earthchild. Let us know in the comment why you would rather play for the Pirates versus trying to play and be the starting quarterback at the University of Clemson right now because, dude, whoever takes that starting spot at Clemson, man, that is going to be super lucrative. I mean, we already see that with just the kid we talking about from Alabama, where he's the projected starter in some of the deals that he's been able to acquire. Clemson is going to be right in that same conversation. So,
dude, I just need to pause. Jake Paul's on Colin Cowherd right now.
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm stunned right now.
Yeah, dude, because
this is where it is.
They got the fight coming up. Him versus Tyron Woodley, August 29th, man. You know I'm hype about that, man. Don't get me on my fight talk because you know it's a big fight coming up this weekend. The return of TJ Dillashaw. So, yeah, man.
I'm just surprised right now. Like, I never thought I'd see Colin Cowherd interviewing Jake Paul.
It's Showtime pay-per-view, too.
Okay.
As soon as the fight started shifting to Showtime, you started seeing a lot more legitimate coverage around it. The fight with Logan and Mayweather as well, since that was a Showtime fight, that's why that was getting a lot more coverage. Also, compared to the earlier ones that were on Triller, they weren't respecting in the same way. It didn't hold the same type of, like, I guess, perception around it. So that's but that's the big reason why this time around they're getting a lot more credibility with those type of things, man.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just stunned.
Man. Absolutely,
I'm just
you're good,
literally
bro.
stunned to see
Absolutely,
this.
man. I'm glad because I got a chance to talk about that fight that's coming up briefly. So I was excited. So good work by both of us, man. But so Earthchild, he brings up the money. He says it's definitely the money. That's the biggest reason why he would choose to play for the Pirates, even though they haven't been the best, right? And we know that we're hoping they are going in the right direction with some of the moves that Ben has been able to make with the draft and signing 3 of those top 4 picks so far. But yeah, I mean, the money is definitely there, man. It's hard to not see that part, right? And South Florida still says they're out here looking for 2 more likes because they're sitting at 298 likes to unlock the 300th.
Did I like it?
I don't know, man.
I think I did.
You close. I would like it, but I don't want to be that guy to like his own thing, man. But while we're waiting on those extra 2 likes,
I'm at 299.
So we're almost there. Then we're almost there. But Stairway to 7, the answer, because he asked me, man, who am I taking in this fight this weekend between Cody Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw? Man, I gotta go with TJ. I know 2 years out. That's a long time, man, in terms of cage rust. Obviously, I understand that he's coming back from a suspension that was related to legit PED usage, strong PED usage. But at the same time, TJ is a dynamic fighter. This dude, he can do it on the ground. He can do it standing up. He has cardio. He has toughness. So for me, man, I'm a big fan of him. And I just think that clean version, he's going to want to continue to prove himself. Very similar to with John Jones, right? When John came back from the controversy surrounding him, he wanted to prove that he was still just as good or better without having to worry about any of that other nonsense. So that's why I think that TJ gets it done. But Cody is no slouch, though. Cody Sandhagen, he's no slouch at all, man. But I think that TJ gets it done. Oh, and we got the 300 likes. Man, we got the 300 likes. So, ladies and gentlemen, the giveaways are definitely happening, man. For a fact, sign Moats jersey coming. Fact, that's definitely happening. All right, might have to. You know what?
I might sign up for that one.
I might have to throw in 2 now. Should I throw in 2?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, definitely got to do the sign jersey. That's for a fact. Because the 300 likes, that's monumental, man. Big time shout out to everybody that did that, man. Deke challenged y'all. Y'all challenged yourselves, but y'all did that, man. So we're going to definitely have that. Also, definitely giving away my books, too, man. Got to have a couple copies of that. I'm sending out signed, personalized as well. And you know we got to drop a Manscaped in there, too, baby. All right, so we're going to have the Lawnmower 4.0 performance package that we talk about, right? Yeah. That keeps us feeling nice and groovy, super smooth, all our delicate twins breathing. Hot guy summer. Y'all going to see, you know, when I post my beach pics next. Got to post a beach pic next week while I'm out, you know. Y'all going to see where the Manscaped has, you know, help your boy out a little bit. All right. But yeah, man, we're going to make sure we got all that for y'all, man. And, you know, when we do giveaways, it's nothing crazy either. You don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. I will put up a video because you got to do that with YouTube, right? They say you got to be specific in terms of what you want the people to do. Very clear in terms of what they're winning. So I got to make sure I type it all up so we don't get in trouble with the higher ups here, all right? Because, you know, they technically are the boss right now, but we'll make sure we have that. But I'll post a separate video detailing everything. It's as simple as make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you like the vid, make sure you comment, and you know why a social tag, or something like that. But either way, I'll make sure it's very simple for you, very simple. But y'all have definitely earned that, man. I'm super proud of all y'all, man. And I do see John Doe talking about the Donda album. Hasn't dropped yet. That's Kanye West's new album. So he
What do you mean? You haven't heard it?
It hadn't dropped yet.
Dude, I was listening to it on the way over.
No, you weren't. For a fact you were. I know you weren't because I was already checking for it. They did. So he did a live like listening party in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz.
I saw somebody deleted it.
So no,
is that a spoof?
So he did it. So it's always controversy when it comes to Kanye's albums because part of his selling point is, hey man, I got this verse 5 minutes before I was about to release the album. You know, so he literally was like, oh, I got Jay-Z's new verse at 4:00 today, and the album's supposed to be releasing that day. You're like, whoa, what the heck? But he did this with what was it? The life of Pablo? He did it with oh my goodness, there was the
Life
gospel
of Pablo
he just
was
did.
badass.
I love that, man. I love it. But that was another one where he kept kind of like pushing it back. And day of, oh, this guy just turned the verse in. Pusha T talks about his opening verse on one of his. He's like, yo, I'm flying, I'm in the air, and Ye hits me like, yo, I need a verse, and I need it by 3. And he's like, bro, it's 12. I'm in the air right now. So he's like, we touched down. I dropped the verse real quick and sent it over there to him just like that. And literally by that night for the release, that's the opening. I'm like, what is going? But that's how he works.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of waiting on that, man. But man, I can't wait. From what I've heard so far, man, it does sound a little dope from what I've heard. I can't wait to hear the rest of it though, man.
They're saying, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what it sounds like. That soulful, him back chopping it up, man. Yeah. Think Life of Pablo. Think graduation, late registration. Think like that type of Ye, man.
You don't
singing
want
on
Yeezus
the
too?
hook. No, I'm down with Yeezus. Like I love Yeezus. Yeezus is so underrated, man. Blood on the Leaves, fire. Like people think about Yeezus, and I think of 808 808s and Heartbreaks.
I like the 808s.
Super underrated. But when it came out, it was ahead of his time. And with Yeezus, it was ahead of his time, man. The way that he had some of those beat patterns and stuff, people weren't ready for that. But that's Ye. And that's why I love him, because he's so fashion forward. He's always progressive. Like you're gonna catch up to it 2 to 3 years later. And that's the thing that I feel like it's so much harder to do it that way than it is to just dominate what the current culture is. And that's what Ye does, man. So shout out to Ye.
No, yeah. Kanye's great.
Yeah, man. Now, let's go UW. He asked me this. He says, you going to team up with TSC on those jerseys. Even if I don't win, I'd buy one 100%. I haven't figured that out just yet, man. I might have to look into that. But, I got my private stock as well. I wanted to go into the private stock, because I appreciate y'all. That's all. I appreciate you. Sometimes you got to go into that private stock that this one hit a little different here.
Sure.
You know. So
it's a big deal. We're almost at 25K. Hit the 300 likes here. People have been rocking with us for a while. They're talking about the back patio setups.
We got the 200th episode coming up as well. Think of this 195 right here.
This might actually be technically our 200th.
No, low key it might be, bro. Like dead serious. So we're gonna make sure that we do it a bit like dead serious, bro. We low key might be past it, bro.
We might be.
Like
it's cool
because our count at the beginning was definitely we weren't counting. We weren't counting at all. And I think low key that's why when we did our 100th episode, why we didn't even make a big deal, because we were like, bro, we low key felt like we've already done this. Yeah. Like I just don't know when it happened, but we feel like we've definitely done it already.
I think around 100 is where we started switching the thumbnails a little.
Right, and that was the thing.
It was nice. It was a nice little switch up.
So that's the thought process though, man. So we're gonna make sure that we do y'all right though, man. So but like I said, we appreciate y'all for that though, from the heart. But yeah, man, I don't know if I would have turned down that Clemson opportunity though, man. But $3 million up front guaranteed for Bubba is nice though, man. That's nice.
I feel like the decision wasn't weighing on him too much. He kind of just went with the Pirates. So maybe he loves baseball more, mate. That's the thing. Which do you love more?
Yeah.
And if you love both the same, then just think of your opportunities.
Yeah.
And maybe he thinks it's a better opportunity with the Pirates.
Well, since he got drafted, he was the most vocal out of all those guys in the class in terms of really trying to rally the troops, really being the one talking to Lonnie in terms of saying like, man, we're all trying to come here and play baseball. Like all 4 of us, like even though Lonnie had the same conversation in terms of, is he going to go to Penn State or not?
Yeah, he was Penn State.
Yeah,
right?
But Bubba, he makes it just like, nah, man, we're trying to get the guys and we're trying to get together. Like he definitely seems like the camaraderie leader type guy. So I definitely like that. He never seemed like he had any type of, second guessing on it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm loving these Kanye quotes calling up in the chat now. I can't hold my liquor, but man, we ain't going there. Just going off the different, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. Oh, that was a classic too. Do you have a favorite Ye album?
Oh man, I like.
Do you have a
all
favorite
good.
one?
I do think that Life of Pablo is pretty underrated.
Father, stretch my hands. Oh man, the Life of Pablo is. Oh, I absolutely loved Life of Pablo, bro.
It's tough, dude.
I love the
probably
Life of
go
Pablo.
Graduation. I'll be straight up.
Now Trina says late registration. She goes late registration for hers, but man, Graduation was far.
I think I gotta go Graduation.
Graduation is crazy. For me, I'm probably gonna go My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fan. I'm going
You can't
there.
Go wrong. You literally can't go
But
wrong.
I love the Life of Pablo.
Yeah,
like the Life
really
of Pablo
like
is like a legit close second for me. Yeah,
you
legit
can't
close
go
second,
wrong.
bro.
Like if you would have said any album,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, I get it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a legit close
because they're
second,
all up
bro.
there. I like all of his albums.
Yeah.
I really do. Well, what was that last one he just did? The gospel one.
Yeah,
There's like a song or two I
Yeah.
like, but
that was the different. But that was so like left field with it as well, man.
it's one thing with Cudi. No, he did another
He
one.
did joint albums. He did the one with Cudi.
I liked his one with Cudi.
He had his solos because this one he was doing the Cold Summer where he would do 7-song albums. So because he dropped right after Pusha T dropped.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've heard some of those
Yeah.
like little EPs he's dropped.
Yeah, they were clean.
They were after the Cudi collab.
No, it was before the Cudi. It was before that.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I
because he was
those.
dropping them like every Friday during the summer, man. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it was
those are
dope,
the ones
bro.
I haven't listened to. The
Kids
most-
See Ghosts. That's what it was called. Absolutely,
Yeah,
Manuel
that was
Molina.
badass.
Absolutely, that was dope right there, man. Oh, now they bring it up. They said, would you go 50 Cent or Kanye? Now, I love
Kanye.
50 as well, but I think Kanye's catalog is just way longer. But I love 50. Like 50 got me through high school, bro. Like for a fact, Get Rich or Die Trying. And then when they dropped the movie to Get Rich, Die Trying, and I got the soundtrack, yeah, that's literally got me through junior and senior year for a fact. And that was like my pre-game for basketball. It was my hoop song.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Which one?
it was so aggressive. It was so aggressive, man. From the soundtrack, from the movie soundtrack, Get Rich or Die Trying. What was the name of it? I just remember how it goes: 2 in the front, 2 in the back. There's 4 dudes riding strapped to grandpa's Cadillac. The voice in my said, I should rob all you dudes. And I because it's too explicit, I don't want to go there too much. But
You can.
yeah, I'm not. But yeah, it's like that. Oh, and Watch the Throne. Justin Reynolds
Sure.
brings up Watch the Throne. And speaking of Watch the Throne, because Watch the Throne is up there too. I absolutely love, because you got my two favorites. You got Jay-Z, who's my favorite rapper, and then you have Kanye, who's right up there with, in terms of my top 5 guys that I love. Like, Ye is like that. But Jay-Z on his feature verse, because this was the first time we've heard Jay-Z hop back on the track with Ye since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But in the end of his bar, he says this could be the return of the throne. So it had people asking, are we going to get another Watch the Throne out there? I'm just throwing it out there, baby. Just throwing it out there, man.
You might as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Obviously,
man.
people be in for it.
Absolutely, man. It's going to be dope, bro. It's going to be dope, bro. Get Rich. Hey, Donald Cope, he says, Get Rich or Die Trying, straight fire, no skips. No question, man. You can't skip any track up there, and it's timeless, man. I could put it on right now. The energy in here would change, though, because it's aggressive. 50 Cent's aggressive. It would get super aggressive in here. But it's just a vibe, bro. And that's what he does, man. That's what he does, bro. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else?
I'm not saying too much else.
He said, I listen to Mini Man. Mini Man was a vibe, bro. For a fact, it was a vibe. And Roscoe, yeah, it looks like John Doe is getting you square on how to join the upper room. So yeah, he says you got to go onto your laptop or use a computer if it isn't available on your phone. Because I know some people with their phones, it always isn't available necessarily. But either way, man, we make sure we get that so we can give you the proper shout out that you get when you join the upper room.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let me think. Yeah. The Analyzer Hove is certainly in a league of his own. Man, I like how we just went straight music at the end of this thing too, man.
Yeah.
Jeez. But no, this was a vibe. So yeah, man, I think that is it for the day, man. So like we said, man, just a quick one more time update refresher. No live shows next week. All right. No live shows next week. Taking a little bit of just a reset, refresh, because, we done put the grind in, we done put the work in this all season, and y'all have too, man. So we get a little reset next week. We'll have some videos and content releasing, but no live shows. But when we get back from our little hiatus, big time giveaways, like we already said, I'll make sure I release a video giving out all the info of what you need to do to make sure you're entered into it so you can get your best chances to win. And then from there, man, we'll bring the rollouts, man, to let you know about the new shows, the timing of our shows as well, man. And yeah, it's going to be a blast, man. So Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Y'all stay safe this weekend. Enjoy yourselves. If you're going to any other practices, I know that's coming up as well, man. Post pictures. Let us know, man. We want to see that, man. We want to check that out. And obviously, man, we'll be making our way down there for some of those too, man. So other than that, man, anything else you got on your end?
I'm good, dude.
You look good, man.
Thanks, man.
It's the Melvin Ingram in the stash, bro. The Melvin Ingram on Rush. I don't even know how you ordered it that fast. Like, it was like you saw the picture, you just called up Mr. Rooney himself, like, hey, all right, what's up, baby? Hey, look, I'm gonna need that. Hey, make sure it's Reebok. Peace. And he was like, that's Big Deke. You know what I mean? Like, it's just levels to this thing, man. You different, bro.
I did see his name pop up into my database for a Big Deke Energy shirt.
Yeah?
I think he ordered one, yeah. So I got to ship that out.
That might be it, man. That might be it.
We were talking about that earlier.
That might be it, bro.
So I think he got the idea from you, actually. He was like, yeah, that'd be a good idea. I should wear a Big Deke Energy shirt.
And I think low key he's gonna start branding it on the Steelers.com. Like, you know how in the back where it's got the team shop,
the Big Deke Energy photo of the week.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
That might be what has to happen.
That's what it is, man. No, MC, that's not a Matt. He said he thought that was a Maddox jersey.
Oh,
no, man, this is a Reebok version of Melvin Ingram. All right. It's Reebok, Melvin Ingram, man. Yes, overnighted it. I don't even know how you did that, man. Like, Deke just know the right people. I'm trying to know the people that Deke knows, all right?
I told you I needed to show up for this podcast. I didn't want to disappoint.
That was it?
That was it. I was basically willing to give my whole wallet up. But it was only $100. It was $100 for the overnight shipping.
Yeah.
On top of the jersey cost, but I think it was worth it for this podcast.
No doubt there, man. So, shoot. With that being said, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. And until next time, baby.
Peace.